Hello and welcome to a very chilly edition of Comic Book Spectrum. It's Thursday, December 22nd, 2022. I understand it's going to be somebody's birthday in about 3 days, so stay tuned for that. Anyway, we're the show that saves you money by telling you what's great and what isn't on your comic book stands. And this week we're having our special year-end show. Our annual year-end show that we've never done before. We're going to tell you what we think are the best and the worst comic purchases. Maybe talk about some things that are going on in the industry. But anyway, if you're watching on the rerun, we appreciate you coming by and checking us out. And if you're here live, please leave your comments, because your comments and whatever we get left on the reruns, that's what makes the show fresh. Anyway, we'll see you in about a minute. We'll be back, I promise.
10 seconds.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Well, that was interesting. We got the sound but no picture. Holy cats. The show's cursed already. Anyway, glad to have you here. And as always, we couldn't do this by ourselves. We are joined in our efforts here by our Patreon subscribers. Patreon's a monthly subscription service where you can support your favorite creators directly. And tomorrow, or excuse me, this morning, it's next week. Next week. I don't know what time it is anymore. Next week, on this next Thursday, you'll get to see how I did on my writing goals, how many words I typed, and holy cow, it's a lot. Anyway, please check us out and whatever we offer you for your direct financial support at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And also, we are brought to you by Rising Tide Publications, as well as Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now, it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Check out their Facebook page with some great samples of some of the work they've done for other publishers and what they're going to be doing for certain others. Also, then go to plasmafiregraphics.com and inquire about their independent, creator-friendly pricing. You'll be glad you did. They do a lot of stuff that'll help you sell that book you've worked so hard on. That's plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers. Also, we've got one other special thing here that some friends of ours are putting on in January that we think you ought to know about.
The Multiverse Fundraiser is a virtual fandom jamboree and a charity fundraiser all rolled into one package. We're not just raising funds for a good cause, we're raising fun. Our 2023 event will be supporting the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health, which exists to spread awareness of aortic health and prevent unnecessary suffering through genetic research, widespread education, and radical advocacy. Our fundraiser combines celebrity panels, fandom-based panels, indie creators, and all of the fun of a virtual con for free. There's a little something for everyone while we support a cause close to our heart. Join us on January 20th through 22nd, along with celebrity guests Amy Yazbek, Jason Bear, Chris Gaucher, Victor Garber, William Catt, Cress Williams, Beth Broderick, Armin Shimmerman, Guy Gilchrist, Carrie Schaefer, Brian Hull, Amy Carrero, Jennifer Cody, and Joyce DeWitt.
Holy cats, I want it now. But anyway, please check that event out when pardon me, when it happens. Yeah, it's a little cold outside. We hope you're all staying safe and warm and are ready for the upcoming holidays. And helping me celebrate the pre-holiday festivities are the ones, the onlys, Mr. Clyde Hall, Eric S. Hawkins, Jody McFee, and yes, here he is, our Christmas gift to you, Mr. Brian Rodman. Oh, Brian, I see you were occupied with some fine, super fine literature there. Golly, could you tell us more about it?
Well, I would love to. 3 out of the 5 gentlemen in this group are involved in the spectacularly written and illustrated Pulp Reality number 4, put out by Stormgate Press. It is the best thing since Jesus. And I think that you would love it. And if you don't get it, then you're going to have a terrible Christmas.
I'm glad I'm on the top
you,
row here,
Brian.
because that lightning's coming right down over there.
Oh, crap. Right in the way.
Well said, sir. Well said.
And he's very glad that you said it and not him. And for those of you who are wondering where John Lennon's spirit went to, now we know.
Yes, the best thing since Jesus, not better than Jesus.
Okay. I'm glad we clarified that.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, those torches.
New bingo card spot. New bingo card spot.
Oh, Joe, you are Yuko. Just hush.
Yeah. Yes, if you have your bingo cards and you have the blasphemy square, please be sure to mark that right now. So, anyway, let's see if we still have anybody left in the peanut gallery here. No, they're all heathens.
Like look at that.
Yeah, wow.
I know, it's uncanny. Anyway, yes, Carl, you did get here before Donna. Donna Carlene, glad to have you here, Carl. And, yep, I was watching something John Scarborough posted in the Secret Humor group. Oh, dear, that means that something is very funny in there. That's the Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group. You went into the Uncle Carl's Secret Humor group after dark alone? That was dangerous. Carl, it's dangerous to go in there at the height of noon. You kidding?
And with these temperatures dropping. Oh, goodness. Brave woman.
Yeah, seriously. Well, yeah, we're currently, was it 2 hours ago, we were above freezing, if only slightly. We are currently now in mid-single digits. So this is inspiring me to do one thing. I'm going to stop checking the temperature till Monday. Anyway, I disbelieve. Anyway, the one about vets one about if vets were in horror movies, says Donna Carlene. Sounds like I need to go see that. And yes, any minute now. We were only 1 minute late, so I feel pretty good about that. And Lissy, glad to see you here, hon. Hope you're having a great night. Hope you're staying safe and warm. Hope you all are. And Jennifer Hawkins, good to see you. Hey to you. Everyone's saying hello because it's really cool to do. And I hope everyone's staying warm and cozy because it is cold out there. Yes, it is. And windy. And Glenn Fleming, Glenn, how are you, Glenn? I've got that. Okay, here we go. We'll give it the love. I edited this book. Glenn Fleming. Yes, it's a wonderful book. It's wonderfully edited. Takes out all his damn misspellings, that O-U-R and color and everything. Give unto me the break. But anyway, but no, it also comes. It's about his visit to the King of Comics.
It does?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And it's wonderful.
It's queen.
It's a wonderful book. And the thing is, it also comes with a disc that has video of Jack Kirby talking, but I didn't edit it, so screw that. Anyway, this is the thing you want. This is the part that's really good. So anyway, please check it out on Amazon, and I believe he's still available on Indiegogo. Glenn, we love you, brother. And it's the middle of the night for Glenn, so this may be one of the few times where Great Britain is actually warmer than we are right now. So, and Carl says, walk those dogs now, Jennifer, before it gets worse, or make the Eric do it.
They haven't wanted to go outside all day today.
They're smarter than us. That's
one
why.
One of them they went out like once, and the old one came back in. And she got little salt pellets between her toes.
Ooh,
so she's hopping around on 2 feet, coming back in the house. I'm trying to dig between her toes.
Oh man, eek. That doesn't sound good. And everyone is here tonight. Hi, and Rodman, put away the pipe before you can't breathe and have to leave us.
Can't breathe. Too late.
And Brian R. smoking his pipe. There's one on the Carl's card. Okay, there we go. There we got another entry there. And they are burrowed under a blanket, says Jennifer. And Lissy is adding blasphemy to her next bingo card. and Glenn is greeting everyone here. And it's and it's 6 degrees there right now.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
It's 3 here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, but is that Celsius?
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. It's probably Celsius. You know, Glenn's probably in his shorts or something, going these stupid, traitors to the government here. They're freezing to death. But Queen Elizabeth is like going and delivering justice to the
Queen
North
Elizabeth
American
isn't doing anything anymore.
She's dead.
She's the specter now.
Oh,
okay.
I see. She's the ghost of Christmas past.
Yes, she is. Yeah,
Okay.
She's the one. William Bove, good to see you, brother. Love you, man. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're staying safe and warm. We are sure trying to. And yes, Celsius. It's like summer right now. That's enough out of you, Glenn. Anyway, we love you, Glenn. And so we are now caught up with the comments. Now, this is going to be a very special evening. We are kind of tossing the format, such as it was, out the window and watching it freeze to death. It won't be twitching long. But anyway, we are going to give you our list of the best and the worst books that the comic-related stuff that we've read all year. And Glenn says, here we go. Carl Wisdom says, blasphemy and disrespect to the Queen. What a night. And we're just warming up, Carl.
From the same guy. You're welcome.
I know. Can this man multitask or what? And okay, I'm off. Have a good one. Glenn, we didn't mean it about the Queen. We love you, man. And there was a format.
Well, we did mean it. She is dead.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Come to
Like
us
a doornail.
for doornail-like proportions.
If this is not clearly understood, nothing wonderful could happen with the rest of our story tonight. Oh, wait, that's a different doornail.
Oh, man. Welcome to the longest 2 hours of your week. Anyway, Donna Carlene says there was a format. Yeah, I think our first show, and we lost it within 10 minutes. But anyway, hold on.
Bless you.
Thank you. That's
hold
why
on,
DJ's...
I forgot to do the sound effect, Brian. Do it again.
Okay. Thank you. Oh my God, it's gonna be a long night. Anyway, we are gonna start telling what we liked and what we didn't like, and some of us have a list. Anyway, no, we're not gonna read all of them. I promise. Did I get the ones I like? Okay, there we go. Anyway, Brian, let's have you start. Why don't we?
Sure.
All right, we're gonna give him the whole screen because we love him so.
Well, I don't have, honestly, a whole lot to say negatively about this year.
You're not
because
crying.
I really didn't dislike a whole lot of books, honestly, that I can remember, at least. Earlier,
I got you covered.
Oh, thanks.
The runway is clear for takeoff.
I left all that for Eric, but and Brian. But no, I do. I mean, surprise, surprise. My top books are. You would think it would be Hellboy, and while I loved the Hellboy and the BPRD books this year. All of them were great. I mean, I'm really digging Hellboy in Love. The first 2 issues are out right now. And I think the name of this run just completely skipped my mind. But it's the one where he gets Thor's hammer. That arc that came out this year was fantastic. And as much as I love Hellboy, and as much as I adore Mike Mignola's vision in that sense, his Baltimore universe is really taking off. And if you're not familiar with this, or you don't remember from earlier this year, there were a few comics that were tales from the Outerverse, and they are a part of his new world that he's been building over the last few years. That started with a illustrated novel written by him called Baltimore, and it is about a vampire hunter who was a former World War I soldier, and in the very beginning, in the introduction to this world that's in the book, he's in the trenches with his troop, and World War I was a terrible time, and they, he talks about how afraid he and his troops were. They break through a barbed wire fence to get to to cross enemy lines, and they get caught and they get blown up, and he's the only one to survive. And sorry, I just saw what I believe is Rick Bradley's comment. And he's the only one to survive this, and a bunch of vampires show up and start chowing down on all of his troops. And from that point on, he survives that night and becomes this vampire hunter that then has now essentially, it's very similar. The books are very similar to Hellboy, to the Hellboy universe. It's all supernatural, has a lot, but it's a lot darker. There's not as much humor. There's Kojakaru the Skinner was a book that I loved this year that came out. That's a part of it. I believe it's The Witches of the Weirding Way, also a great arc that came out of the Outerverse that Baltimore is in. Lady Baltimore, great series. So all of that has just been a really nice surprise, because they've been going for a few years now. I just haven't been up to date on them. And so when I finally started reading the novel Baltimore, and then collecting the comics and reading them throughout the year to review, I kind of just stumbled into another wonderful Mike Mignola world. So I think that kind of takes the cake for me. As far as the best this year, it was the most surprising and the most fun, and no surprise for me, it came from Mike Mignola. And then of course Hellboy, and then I think an honorable mention for me, which I think Eric's probably going to talk about this maybe a little bit more in depth, is the Me You Know in the Dark.
Was that
Me
this
You
year?
Love in the Dark? Yeah, I'm pretty sure
It was
Yeah,
last
you're
year.
right.
Shoot,
I think it was this year.
maybe it was.
It
Yeah.
could have been. It could have started in 21, but I'm counting it if it had issues in 22 as well.
I'm pretty
I
sure.
couldn't remember some of them. So
Yeah, lots of things have happened this year, so I'm pretty sure it was this year.
I cheated, so I looked it up.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I would say that's another honorable mention for me. And honestly, sadly, the one that I can remember, and I kind of looked through as many as I could find on Comixology and the ones that I had bought, the only one that I can really remember being super disappointed by this year was the Blade book, Blade Vampire Nation, just a few weeks ago, actually. And it was, like I said then, it was well written. It wasn't, Art was good. It kind of falls flat in the middle, but then right when you think it's going to set up for its own series, it craps out and it's just a one shot. And I'm like, that sucks. And again, that just kind of, I don't know. I'm not necessarily against the big two, but they really do that a lot. Where you've got to collect all the different books to just follow one character that you care about, follow their storyline. And if you like that kind of reading, that's fine. I mean, that's the way they've done things for ever. But that's a big turnoff for me because I don't want to read every single book that you put out just so I can be up to date on the story. I have enough to do already. I can't spend the time to read your 47 books every month. But and that's probably why that's my least favorite book of the year. But other than that, I gotta say, for me at least, it's been a great year for comics. A lot of the year, as you guys know, I've had a lot of health problems. I've been at home. I have been just reading a lot, and I've been rereading a lot of things as well. Spawn, I've been rereading Spawn, which is a lot better than I remember it being. And I'm about to tackle just some older books as well. One last thing that I'll mention, and I'm gonna probably next time we review it, I'm gonna probably at least I think I'll probably go ahead and just review it then. But I love this new webcomic that has a trade paperback on Amazon right now, called Urban Animal. That has been my latest kind of surprise catch. I don't normally read webcomics and I don't normally read webtoon books, but this one caught my eye on Instagram and I love it. It's already got like over 100 chapters and it is like Spider-Man, but much more supernatural than superhero. And it's about a kid who he hits puberty and finds out he can turn into animals and he can kind of turn into hybrid animals as he learns his powers. And I don't know, I just started the book. I'm about 7 chapters in now and I am loving it. So that's my new take. I'll give you a proper review next go around, but yeah, that's my year in a nutshell.
All right. Excellent. And that's the one I think. Yay! Yeah, seriously, yeah.
Hercules.
I'm surprised that you didn't mention a manga book.
Well, I tried to keep it. I haven't really read any modern manga books. I tried to keep it, stuff that was this year. The big thing that I've been reading is Berserk.
Berserker?
Berserk.
Oh, Berserk.
Yes. Sorry, yeah.
Right,
Berserker. Yeah. Sorry, I always get those two mixed up.
This is the one that has dialogue in it, Eric.
Right, yeah.
Not the Keanu Reeves, but
No. So yeah, that I'm on like volume 5 or 6.
I thought your latest passion was Demon Slayer, so that's the reason why I asked.
I've been watching Demon Slayer and reading that as well, and Attack on Titan. So those are my manga, and Akira as well. So not new stuff. So that's mostly why I didn't mention any manga, but that's what I've been digging this year as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah.
The last issue of The Me You Love in the Dark came out in December 21.
Oh, okay, never mind.
But trade paperback after
still
that.
a great book.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But and the Bones of Giants, is that what you were?
Bones of Giants. That's it. Thank you, Clyde.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah. Bones of Giants was the Thor's hammer.
Hellboy
book. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so who would like to go next?
I can. I don't mind.
Okay, well then let's let Eric, since he has so graciously volunteered. Now we know that some books are going to fly off the runway tonight, possibly, or have flown off the runway. Ooh, baby.
So I actually have a stack of books that was still down in this office. Yes, I'm occupying 2 offices right now because I'm not completely moved. Twig. I enjoyed Twig. But I don't think I continued getting it after like issue 4 or something like that. I think I just kind of dropped off. But it was a fun book, cute book. I enjoyed it. It was good. This one started out good. with the G-side, the Jessai, the
Yes.
Jesuses.
Him again.
But
Jesse.
then it got so repetitive, I hated it.
But was it tossed?
Almost.
This
was.
one, I like the Brother of All Men. I don't think I found the newest issue, but with it being from Aftershock, I may never.
Yeah.
Ooh. We may touch on that later, friends.
Yeah.
Alice Ever After. I have kept getting this book. I'm not up to date reading it, though. I think I'm one issue behind. But I've enjoyed this book. It was a very good book. And I recommend this for everybody. As far as... We'll put that at the bottom, because I think that's my favorite so far this year. Sucky books. Shadowhawk. The Return of Shadowhawk. The last Shadowhawk. It sucked. I mean, it just flat out sucked. Pretty covers. Sucky book. And if you want a book that was completely incoherent, Florida Man.
Those are my favorite.
It was just bad, and art-wise bad, and just it sucked. And yeah, it's sad. I like Mike Barron, but this one was trash.
Was it half baked? No, it was fully baked. Oh.
Yeah.
It was baked. And
So were they.
okay, so should I show? Okay, now we'll show my favorite book this year was The Vineyard. I still haven't found the last issue, but once again, with it being Aftershock, I may not find it. I did. It is on Comixology, so I might get it there. I just never saw it in one of my shops. And finally,
Yay! That's your all-time favorite, right?
the monkey meat. Then I only taped the cover back together. So, yeah. The monkey meat.
I can't
It's
believe you ripped that apart. That's so funny.
I can't believe you put it back together again.
Yeah.
Apparently I did. It's falling all over the place.
Yeah.
Oh, there's half of it there.
Wow.
And really, a lot of stuff was mediocre to me. I didn't have a lot of books I didn't like this year. I found more books I liked throughout the year than I didn't. Some books I picked up I enjoyed, then just lost interest in. I mean, they just couldn't keep the interest in me. I just didn't keep getting them. Man, yeah.
I dare you to send Monkey Meat #1 in to get slabbed and graded.
Joe,
pay
you're the
for it.
slab expert. What would that come back with? You think at least get a 1?
No, probably a 0.5 or NG.
Also, a letter of severe disappointment.
I also stayed Colin Bunn free for the year.
Ooh,
Yeah.
quite an accomplishment. From
No
you.
Power Rangers, Godzilla, or whatever it was for me.
Oh. Well done, Eric. Well done.
Thank you.
Nicely done. And we
I
have
got
we
monkey
also
meat
have
at
some,
my feet.
Well, be careful. Careful. Don't let the dogs get a hold of it. Anyway, we've got we've got comments. Of course, we got comments from Facebook user. Hey, check in on the StreamYard Facebook page, because I think sometimes StreamYard and Facebook don't talk nicely, and it's not StreamYard's fault.
I believe it's Rick Bradley.
Oh, hello, Rick.
Yeah.
We love you, Rick. Mwah. Rand Publishing. And Jennifer Hawkins, we love you too. We know which list you are all on the coal list.
Yeah.
Well, the next
Totally.
the next 3 days, that's going to come in pretty damn handy. Let me tell you that.
Right? Yeah.
And Lissy says if we'd started bingo sooner, Monkey Meat would have been a spot-on zone. Hopefully, we have a gem like that next year. Oh, I'm sure we'll find something.
We'll find
I
Yeah.
can always
Yeah.
buy a Colin Bunn book.
There you go.
Yeah.
And I will be recommending one later on, Eric. And good evening to you, Facebook user. And man, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Thank you. Wow. Okay. And I want to know what they were smoking / drinking before the cameras came on. Methinks the eggnog was spiked. Pure
We
as
had
the driven
eggnog?
slush.
Just got coffee, no whiskey tonight yet.
We had
Save that
eggnog.
for the other show.
Yeah, really. I wish I'd known, Joe. God. I'm having herbal tea. So.
Yeah, I'm having just plain decaf black tea.
What kind
Yeah,
I
of
do
herbal?
have eggnog.
I'm in Indiana, so it's not that one.
Oh,
There probably never will be. And Mr. Rodman, I have not received an email yet for that festival drawing. Check my junk folder. Nothing that was there either. Is this relevant or?
Do your
Not
customer
to-
service on your own time, Bradley.
Not to the show, but check it again, Rick. It'll be there, and if not, see the man on the corner.
And by the way, Rodman, your shows, it should be delivered today before 9 p.m. But I doubt that now.
Yeah,
I'll
probably
probably
not
him off
gonna
the road, I would suspect. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Go check your junk out later, Rick. So go ahead, and whatever you find there, be grateful. Anyway, it may not be as big a drawing as you hoped. Anyway,
Do it inside
Jennifer,
though, not outside. Don't check it
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah,
don't do that. That's how you get arrested.
You'll freeze your junk right off, is what will happen. And Eric's getting old; he can't remember.
Who's that?
Jennifer Hawkins. Have you heard of her?
Who's that?
Oh, he forgot already. Anyway, sorry, Jennifer. Anyway, and Parallax Spectrum, mwah, applause to you, darling Leia. It's good to see you as always. And I waited until Rodman was done to say hi. That's how much she loves you. And dang it, my main character for my superhero book was going to have animal powers, and I was planning on him being able to combine animals as well. I'll have to read that, Brian. Yes,
It's very
you will.
good. I'm sure you could do it as well. I don't
There
think
we
they've
go.
copyrighted that idea.
Yeah, come up with a better one. Shadowhawk wasn't good 30 years ago either. It's like, I gotta give you that one. That's true.
I was like 9, so I loved it.
Yeah, so the package, the guy going after his own package wants to know where your monkey meat's at, Eric. And
I've shown the monkey meat.
that's right, there it is. NG for no, great, and bunless. Ooh, and that's fine. I will take by his presence then. Now he remembers who you are.
But
Sounds
I
like
always
somebody's.
accept presents, so yeah.
There you go. It sounds like somebody's going to war here. So anyway, we're caught up with the comments. Keep them coming, folks.
Say, I can't remember crap. Oh.
There you go. And Ace Buddy, glad to have you here. You wouldn't freeze the buns off if you wore pants, Brian. Now you tell me. God, where were you guys when,
Brian, don't listen to that crap. Leave them
Okay, good. Thank you.
You're
Sorry, Ace, you've been outvoted. Anyway, glad to have you here, bud. Ooh, I'm getting my Muppet on now. Anyway, we killed Brian. Anyway, Joe's right behind him.
Where's that on the bingo
No.
card?
Yes.
Brian says
where's
something
Brian?
stupid.
Where's Brian R's imminent death on the bingo card?
There you go. Well, we do have we might have BKM says something really stupid. Anyway, that should be like a whole card unto itself. And Parallax Spectre's going to send Eric a signed Wildcats one because he loved the Blue Beetle so much.
I do have a couple of issues of the original Wildcats signed. Issue 1.
Very cool. Very cool.
That is cool.
All right. So anyway, we are caught up, and Joe, would you like to go next?
I could go ahead and go next,
I
and
think you should.
yeah, why not? This year has been weird. I have to say weird because normally I'm the one that has the, how can I say, more eclectic taste when it comes to comics. So I've been kind of like all over the spectrum, and I do have to admit, I have to applaud.
All over the comic book spectrum?
Ba, ba, ba.
But I do have to applaud one person that's on the panel here, because one of my best of the year is actually a recommendation of his that I actually enjoyed, and I took over to review afterwards.
I know it.
So-
I know it. I know it.
Yeah, I know you. I know you know. See, he got a great memory, unlike with names and people.
You like monkey meat?
No, that's not it. That's not it here. But getting back to where I was going with this here was the fact that I put a challenge in front of him. He was able to, if I could say, exceed beyond expectations on that. So hopefully in 2023, I'm going to shift that challenge over to another panel member.
Roll.
And hopefully he doesn't pass out or dies before it gets completed.
Yeah, your luck's not going to hold out there, Joe. I'm afraid.
Did I mention I have a heart murmur?
No, it's not. It's not. It's like it's not who you think it is. So, Mr. Rotten, it is your turn.
Wonderful. I think challenge accepted. I got this.
So, without further ado, we're going to deal
Easy.
with the first of the two that's on my list, and this is the most messed up thing because when I think about it, my best for 2022 has all came in limited series, and that kind of ticks me off a bit because I like ongoing series for some reason. But that's neither here nor there. So, number one on the list here is the full run of Daisy from Dark Horse.
So good.
This was a great and excellent miniseries from start to finish. I mean, it started off with a great mystery about one individual, and it turns out into a bigger mystery about the whole town and what actually transpired millennia ago. So, if you have a chance, hit your comic book store up. I think there is a graphic novel version of it, the collected graphic novel version of Daisy as of right now. But if they don't have it, get issues 1 through 5. Should be easier to get. I don't think they were short run at all throughout the whole entire series. So you should be able to pick up all 5 issues here. Now, the second one on my list was something that was kind of like a humbug, if I could say that. It's like everybody was talking with the hype of this book was just so great before it came out. And then after I found out that one of the writers actually wrote a character that I liked a lot, and he wrote the run that most people did not care for of that character. I was like, you know what? People just misunderstood his writing. So I'm going to give it a chance. And boy, did I give it a chance, because he knocked this idea out the park here. So my second of the two for the best of 2022.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good series.
Good choice.
I mean, from the very beginning of how it got set up with the 8 billion genies coming to Earth to where we're at right now, because I haven't reviewed issue 5 as of yet, because I can't go into issue number 5. I mean, there's layers upon layers upon layers of mystery built into this story, and we're still got 4 more issues before we get a definitive end as far as how this world is going to change since this anomaly that, again, if you paid attention to, I think it was last week's review that I did this, if you paid attention, this has been an occurrence on Earth based upon a certain anomaly. But every time that this happens, a new world is born. So we're about to get ready to see a birth of a new world, but we have to wait to see how all this comes to fruition here. Now, for the worst of 2022. Now, I have to go back. I have to think about it. It's like, how many books have I tossed this year? Not many. However, one stick out more so than anything else, because if I remember correctly, the books that I tossed so far was mainly either due to choices by editing staffs or choices based upon you made this a one shot and you're going to make people trace the rest of the story based upon one shot after another one shot after another one shot, stuff to that magnitude. However, the book that made my worst of was a one shot, and it made my list because of story. And to me, that's more important than all the other behind the scenes, stuff that could have been fixed a long time ago. And surprisingly enough, that book has to deal with the Wonder Woman family. And that book that makes the worst of 2022 for me was Artemis Wanting. And the main reason Artemis Wanting makes that list is because of everything that they undid in that story, based upon what happened in the trials of the Amazons, all the buildup and the character development that you did with Artemis in that story arc just got undone. It got undone. Instead of really making her the unsung hero that she really was, they unraveled everything and, you know, gave her kind of like the hero's welcome back into her tribe and act like nothing ever happened. And I was like, no, that's just poor in of story arc storytelling, especially since you build up this character to be one of the most loyal Amazons ever. And how you ended everything to prove it, it's just lazy storytelling. Very lazy. So that's the reason why Artemis Wanting is the worst of 2022, in my opinion.
Okay. All right. You heard it here, folks. Cool.
Daisy.
Daisy was awesome.
That was a great.
That's why I didn't bring that one up. I knew Joe was.
Yeah.
He looked at his crystal ball and there it was. Oh, we got more comments. Ace Bonnie says Brian would be the person that would use his pants as a sail on a boat, as John Candy once did in the movie Summer Rental. Well, ha ha ha! I probably wouldn't be wearing any pants there either. So anyway, just to air out my inadequacies. But anyway, Ryan Permisson, what's up, CBS crew? How are you? We are well, my friend. How are you? Parallax Spectre says you were supposed to say that being said for my bingo card, Joe.
Actually,
so does
I
that count as
did.
Brian messing up a name?
I did. I didn't say it in succession again. People don't pay attention because people want to take that square literally. It's like I got to the point where it's like, no, I don't say it in succession anymore. So I did say those 3 words.
There you go.
I did say those 3 words, but not in succession.
It's true. We did have a conflict last time about a specific part of the video was referenced that was a potential would have potentially filled in that line. I went back and checked it out. The line that square will not be filled in. You were right, Joe. And so
well, I can sleep better at night now. I know that.
See, and that's why you tune into this show for the breaking news that people need.
Indeed.
Yes, when news breaks, we fix it. Anyway, Ryan Permisson also goes on to say, best of 2022, seeing Rodman back on the show, I'll amen that. And getting Supergirl #1 signed by the writer Paul Kupperberg and graded for his collection. That is very, very cool. And plus being on Joe's show a few times. That should be like a bucket list thing, I'm telling you, everyone.
Joe's a great host.
Yes, he is. I'm serious about that. And worse than 22, not seeing Rodman every week. Probably seeing the other Brian every week. Otherwise, I enjoyed the comics I read this year. Happy holidays and Happy New Year, everyone. Same to you, Ryan.
You too, buddy.
Hope you have a great holiday,
Merry
my friend.
Christmas.
Yes, Merry Christmas to every one of you out there. So I will take over now for a moment.
Do it. Do the thing.
Do it.
And we're going to talk fast because Brian, being the comics whore that he is, likes just about everything he reads because he's not going to buy stuff he doesn't like. Okay?
Checkmate.
Well, yeah, okay. Anyway, I concede your point, Eric. And we did get some stuff in this week, like the #3 issue of Startup. This has been really entertaining. You might want to catch this one, folks. You might want to get some extra copies, indeed, because the origin of one of Mark Waid's classic characters is revealed in this issue. No spoilers. I'll tell the crew after we're done. And we are at the 299th issue of Knights of the Dinner Table. One more, and it's 300, which is pretty cool. And, of course, the Dawn of the DCU, Dark Crisis on Infinite Earths #7, has hit the stands. It's I really enjoyed it, but we'll have reviews of some of these on the Comic Book Spectrum page on Facebook. Please visit that during the week, because some of us drop extra reviews and stuff, and we go into a little more detail, and people tend to like that stuff. So, anyway, I do have a list. I made a huge list, and I know it's not completely.
Did you check it twice?
Did you
check it twice?
I did, sir. I took another cue from that other jolly fat man, but except I'm not jolly. But anyway, I made a list of all the comics that, or at least I think most of the comics that I've picked up this year.
You made certain that the ones that are going to get tossed and the ones that are actually nice.
Yes, exactly. And I've got some alternates here. I also made a list of stuff that's kind of, it's okay. I'm not ready to cancel it yet, but it's towing the line there, like Action Comics. I'm looking forward to the new storyline. Red Man, we've run this joke every month, guys, and you're looking less professional every month. You don't even put the price on it. My guy has to look up the catalog. Okay? Dark Crisis Warzone, that was the one where you couldn't tell who the hell anyone was. The Return of Chilling Tales of Sorcery, that was not too bad. That was okay. Much better than the year before. Weirder Mysteries and World of Krypton. Then I have my ick pile. Then I've got some good ones I want to talk about here. But we'll go for my good list. And actually, I couldn't pick just one. I have a bunch of them. But you see the bottom half of this page? Those are independent comics. Notice they outnumber the mainstream ones.
Mm-hmm.
Why y'all aren't?
Aftershock in there?
I don't get any Aftershock comics, so I don't have to worry about soul crushing.
Don't worry.
Neither will anybody else.
Point taken again, guys. You're on the ball tonight, guys.
4 in that list.
Say what?
What's the Zombie World of Oz number 4 in that list?
It was actually, I was going to hold it up as being one of the great books this year. I can't go. I feel wrong going into too much rapture about it, because Eric will probably want to pay me eventually. No, he won't. Anyway, because I don't pay him. But anyway, hey, we're trading favors. Anyway, but no, number 4. This came out this year, and the hardcover, the first 3 issues. There's also a trade paperback. Go to Stone Door Studios and find out how wonderful it is. And also issue 4 came out, and it's the start of a new story arc, and it was terrific. And kudos to Eric. I also want to give. I was sent a copy from the artist and co-writer, I should say, Russ Leach. Only Death Can Save Us. The trade paperback of the first 3 issues. Great book. This is fantastic. And I'm not saying this because Russ is a dear friend. I'm saying it because this is a really good book.
That's the second printing of it.
Yeah, this is like the more mainstream thing, but more mainstream edition. But Russ has a beautiful, clean style that is evocative of John Buscema with a bit of Joe Sinnott in there, and a little soupçon of Jack Kirby. But it's a fast-paced story. I want to know more about the characters, and I reached the end of the main story, and my first thought is, where's the rest of it? I want more. What better compliment can you pay a comic book? This is available on Amazon, I believe. Also, check out comicbookblackbelt.com. Also, check out that YouTube channel. But anyway, this is a fantastic book. We are going to be reviewing this on the Facebook site. Do look for that. But it was a fantastic book. Thank you, Russ.
It's on Arrow Comics, if I'm correct.
Yes, it is. And in fact, I was going to give a little shout out to Arrow Comics. Also, Luke Stone has just sent out the Hybrid Sons of Gods number 9. That looks good. I haven't read it yet. But anyway, without going into the backstory, there's some really good comics from Arrow 4.0, Randy Zimmerman and company, that were printed with an unfortunate incident in mind. But they have copies of these, and contact Randy Zimmerman on Facebook and get you some of these. Some of these are really great. And like this one is a little anthology here, and you'll get to see the first chapter of Only Death Can Save Us. It's worth it just for that. And Hero Bot Zero is fantastic. Actually, all of them are. And
I'm trying to see if you have the one that I'm a big fan of here.
We'll probably get to it.
Nope. No, you got that seems like you got the first run.
I got the
wave.
original run of this. Yeah, which was that, Joe?
Randy Zimmerman has a series out there called Paragon.
Yes.
That is excellent.
Yeah, I do have that. I think I got separated because I didn't read it, and I think I put it away. But also, well, here's my list. I will give it real fast. Superman, Son of Kal-El. I'm sorry it's ending. It's been fun. Had some really great moments of humor in it, and I'm looking forward to the miniseries. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow was awesome by Tom King. Monkey Prince was a surprisingly good comic.
Scared me there.
Yeah, I know. That's why you gotta let me finish on this stuff, you know. But no, Monkey Prince from DC is an excellent book by Gene Luen Ewan. Most of the creative staff are Asian, and they use the legend of the Monkey King involved in this. And this is the person who is to be the next Monkey King. It is evocative of the early Spider-Man. And it's really fun, really fast-paced. Superman 78 was a fantastic sequel to the Christopher Reeve film. 30th Anniversary Death of Superman, another good book that honored the event that happened 30 years ago. And Superman Space Ace was also very thought-provoking by Mark Russell and Mike Allred. Wonderful book. Also, now my indie list is Impossible Jones, Unstable Frequencies by Karen Nicole. That's a fun book that I got to review sometime. Only Death Can Save Us. Junkyard Joe. The Joneses. The Blue Flame. One of the funniest titles I've read in years. My Bad. Blue Baron, Startup, and 8 Billion Genies. I got clued into it because of these guys here, and I finally Hoopla finally got issue 5 online. So that was a thrill. So anyway, we got to represent Cullen Bunn here, being the
I quit.
Well, it gets better. It gets better, Eric. Stick around. But no, this is a fun little purchase I got at Ollie's. Do check out your local Ollie's. They have some really great bargains, and this is like it's a monster-sized book. This damn thing almost broke my kneecap trying to read this. But it's a super
and that's
read.
Coming from the guy that got what is it called, the giant-sized man thing #1.
That's right. I'm proud of my man thing. Anyway, it's giant size. But anyway, no, this isn't Watchmen by any stretch of the imagination. But Cullen Bunn can write a decent dust up every now and then. The person you hear vomiting is Eric. Anyway, but no, this is a good thing, which means he probably got somebody who was at my caliber of editing. Eric, see, that's just a note to you and good
people that Aftershock hasn't paid yet.
Yeah, he is actually.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
Quite a bit of money.
Now, speaking of quite a bit of money, I also want to give a shout out to Alter Ego and Back Issue Magazine and Retro Fan Magazine for being just incredibly awesome. But something I picked up this week, and yes, I got a good price on it. I've been seeing these in the bookstores, and I will be picking up the 3rd volume next week.
Ooh.
Yeah, these are the deluxe. See that's gold, people. That's gold.
That's gold.
Yeah, this is the Penguin Classics Marvel Collection, and they reprint key issues along with annotations, and they got words in it. Go past them. That's not what we buy them for. But they have some different stories in here. It's not just Spider-Man, but some of the stories that led up to the Amazing Spider-Man. For instance, one of the things they do is they reprint not just the origin of Spider-Man in Amazing Fantasy 15, they reprint the rest of the comic.
Ooh.
With Stan Lee and Steve Ditko artwork in it. Stan Lee stories. Good stuff. And here's a story that was redone for one of the early issues of 60s Silver Surfer. And then it doesn't reprint every issue, but this goes from number 1 to what is it? Like about 18 or 20 or something like that. I can find out real fast. Number 19, excuse me. Number 19 with text to fill in between the issues and how the strip is developing. Plus, they reprint from annual number 1 how Stan Lee and Steve Ditko create Spider-Man. as well as Strange Tales number 97 with the prototype to Aunt May and Uncle Ben. Okay. The like I said, the reproduction is incredibly sharp on these. The paper is nice. It's archival level paper. The books are $50 a piece, but if you shop around, you might be able to get a bargain on them. And that is the Spider-Man. This one, Captain America, it has an introduction by Gene Gene. Let me get it right here. Gene Luen Yang of Monkey Meat, and some good analysis of Captain America and how he developed, and it reprints not only the first issue of Captain America from the 1940s, the entire issue. Okay?
Brian?
Yes.
It's Monkey Prince that Gene Luen Yang did.
Yes.
Not Monkey Meat. Don't put that on. Don't blame him for that.
Okay, I apologize to Gene. I apologize sincerely. It's just that Eric made it sound so good. I'm obsessed with it now. And also the Spider-Man volume has alternate covers that didn't make it.
Ooh.
Like you've seen the one that Jack Kirby drew for Amazing Fantasy 15. This also has alternate covers for some of the other issues of Spider-Man that were changed at the last minute. But anyway, after it prints Captain America, it also has his first appearance in Tales of Suspense 59. Skips a few issues, and then we get the 60s version of the Origin. And then it reprints a good number of the Jack Kirby issues of Tales of Suspense with Captain America. And also has both books have some of the letter columns.
What about Captain America 100?
No, it does not get that far. It does get that far, but it did not reprint that one.
Okay.
But you get to see also him inked by Frank Giacoia, Joe Sinnott, and also you get to see the Dick Ayers, and also you get to see this is it, the very first Captain America of the Silver Age by John Romita Sr. All right, with Batroc, the Leaper, who I thought was always a lame villain. But anyway, then they have Kirby with Sergeant Fury coming back, and then it reprints a lot of the individual issues, including the Cosmic Cube, taken on AIM. Stops just shy of issue 100 and the Sid Shores inked issues. I would have liked to see those in a good format, but they make up for it.
Because I was just thinking, was it 100 or 101 when they retold the most modern origin of Captain America?
They had it in 100. It was a flashback scene in 100, but they also did 112 with a newer version. And then about 5 or 6 years later, I think Steve Englehart finally put all the different versions into one continuity. So, yeah, he took a formula. Yeah, he got an injection. Yeah, he sat under Vitarays and got a nice tan. But anyway, what this does is it reprints all 3 issues of the Jim Steranko Captain America.
Ooh.
Yeah, and that is some sweet, sweet stuff. And if you've been watching Comics at Night on the Indie Comics Network, Randy Zimmerman and Russ Leach and Glenn Fleming and C. Michael Lanning and I have been analyzing the original art from Jim Steranko's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. You need to check that out. And then of course, we got more Steranko.
That reminds me, BKO. I gotta book this show, people, after we're done here.
All right, sounds good. Captain America lives, just like Flash Gordon. And then it has like some postscripts with the pages from Avengers 4 where Cap is brought out of the ice. All kinds of good stuff. And a lot of great information in both of these books, and I highly recommend them. We are probably going to review them later on. And before you think I'm taking over the whole show, my worst book of the year, actually I had 4 books that I thought were, very disappointing. One was Minor Threats. I thought it would be better than it was. It had a great premise, though. But I think the execution's a little lacking so far. Dark Crisis, The Dark Army, which we reviewed on the show a couple weeks ago, because if you're a newcomer to the DC universe, you're going to leave just as confused as when you got in, because they don't tell who anyone is. Batman versus Bigby, very disappointing considering what a big Bill Willingham and Fables fan I am. But the actual worst comic of the year for me, last year it was an Archie, The Chilling Tales. This year it's Archie again. This time it's Fear the Funhouse, and I didn't bring an issue with me. I should, to warn you all. Archie has put out some good stuff with younger versions of their classic characters, but this ain't one of them. The stories, like with the earlier Chillers, are pointless. There was one that was kind of slightly based on the Edward Gorey type of stories, but even that fell kind of flat. It just basically was a waste of $3. So I do not recommend Fear the Funhouse. Fear that damn comic, because it sucks. Okay? And that is my year in review. So, and we are down one
off screen.
I see that. Yeah. That means we can talk about him. Anyway, Brian Rodman says he has to take a breathing treatment, and he wants you all. Excuse me, I should have one too. And everyone, he wants to let you all know that he loves each and every one of you, or would kill for the chance to, and wishes you all a very Merry Christmas. And so anyway, well, what do you think of that, Joe? That's what I thought. Anyway, we'll get him in post. Anyway, we're gonna
That
get
being
this.
said,
He's trying to find the comic book.
I didn't do that.
Show you.
I didn't do that. Well, now it's a trio. So anyway, we love you, Joe. Anyway, we also love Clyde Hall, and here he is, the gold standard. What have you got for us? What did you like, and what did you absolutely despise?
Well, first of all, I gotta, this is going to be bingo judges are going to have to make a decision here, because my sweetie got me a Black Adam figure.
She sure did.
But it's an ornament. So now, does that count as a figure or a model?
It's a
or not?
figurine, technically.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, and I finally got to watch Black Adam, and of all the things he wears in the movie, I like this. You don't usually see him in a cape, and I like that. I like that look for him. It's very cool.
That's nice.
Yeah.
How'd you like Pierce Brosnan in it?
Oh, I thought they did a very good job of making Dr. Fate formidable, and he was fine as Kent Nelson. What do you think?
I loved him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always liked him though, ever since Remington Steele.
Me too.
Even in Mamma Mia, I liked him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I liked him till he sang, or tried to.
I even like that.
What was the volcano movie?
Oh,
he was
yeah.
in?
Yeah.
I've watched that several times.
That was decent.
Was that Dante's Peak or was it
Dante's-
Volcano?
Yes.
Dante's Peak.
Dante's Peak. That was decent.
Now,
He was much better than the script.
just because I'm so proud of it, got this, and they're hard to come by now. This is another Christmassy Hall household staple, but it's a tree topper.
Don't take your eyes off it, people.
Don't blink.
Don't blink. You're dead. That's great.
This is Quill's present this year.
It's Gumby, damn it.
It's Gumby, damn it. And just because I know Eric likes this so much.
Oh, the Razor Quest.
That's a new one for this year.
Nice.
And what was the other thing that I had up here? Let's see. Oh, I know what it is. A friend, Chase and Trina, came by today, and I thought, ooh, Eric's going to be so jealous.
That's nice. I like that.
That's
big,
lovely.
too.
It's huge. Yeah, I love it. I love
That's
it.
what she said.
Great image. Yeah. It's a giant-sized Mandalorian thing. Yeah.
And we've got Joe back in here, so here
I
we
got-
go. Here we
Hey,
go. Hi,
hey,
Joe. You look thrilled,
Okay,
too.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Are you on your phone?
I can't hear you guys. Hold on.
Okay.
Okay. We'll keep talking for a moment here.
Testing.
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 Better us than
Testing.
Eric. He's mean.
Oh.
Now I've gone blind.
So when he comes back, let's just mouth the word.
Yeah, there we go. And this is how we treat our friends. So anyway, let's see.
I
Oh,
wonder
real
if the
fast.
snow up there. Maybe
It could be. It could be. Jennifer Hawkins says y'all have a Merry Christmas. I'm going to put my cough to bed. Maybe I will not keep my husband up tonight.
Aw.
Oh,
It
get well.
really
You're feeling
hasn't
better.
bothered me. It hasn't kept me up. She had a cough weeks ago. Then I got it. Then mine went away. Then came back. Now she's got it. And I was in bed all weekend.
Yeah, those poor guys. And I'm trying. Eric shared his germs. That's what marriage is about. And we agree with Carl and Donna. Definitely get well soon, okay? And Nicholas Anthony Talkert, the host of Never Mind the Furthermore, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 10 a.m. on his channel. He's brilliant. Stay safe, BKM is a minus 28 wind chill in East Park. Yes, we're not going out till Monday if I have my way. And Carl goes, bingo! Just teasing, no bingo yet. And Rick Bradley, we do know where he is, and you can't go wrong with Pierce Brosnan. I loved him, and Mrs. Doubtfire even. Yeah, he was fantastic in there.
Yeah.
See, and now they go silent. Anyway, we've got multiple Joes here. We're gonna go with this
Bring
one.
all the Joes in.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
And you can hear us?
Can you hear us? Can
You
you
hear
hear
us?
us?
You hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you perfectly fine.
Yeah, your other one is frozen.
Yeah. That's because the internet went out here, and I don't.
Okay, it's out.
I think it's because of the cold, because it's below zero and stuff outside. So
Yeah.
luckily, I have my phone nearby, so I could rejoin this way.
Okay, good. Well, we're glad to have you back. And now that you're back, let's take it back to Clyde now. Anyway,
Okay.
that's how we roll.
So, I split mine up a little differently. I've got 3 of the best writers for the year, 3 of the best artists, 3 series or OGNs, graphic novels or series that I liked, and then 1 stinkeroo for 2022. So, the best picks of 22 for writers, Tom Taylor for the ongoing Nightwing series at DC Comics. And I agree, Joe. Most of the things I've liked this year have been limited series or miniseries or maxi series. But I like the idea of having a monthly series that I can look forward to. And Nightwing filled that, was the only one, I think, of all that I liked this year that filled that bill. A whole year's worth of really top Tom Taylor stories. It is standalone adventures that also fit seamlessly into the narrative for a bigger story that comes down over time. And he handles Dick Grayson's crime fighting and personal life in a way that perfectly reflects how much Bruce Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth and Clark Kent have contributed in shaping this hero for our next generation. It has made Nightwing my favorite current DC character of anything that they're doing right now on an ongoing basis. He is, and I think it was one of the Dark Crisis books. They named the most powerful or the best hero of the DC universe, and I was not surprised to find out that they tapped Nightwing for that. And I think it owes a lot to Taylor's interpretation of him. I've enjoyed the whole series, and even the annuals have been exemplary. So, Charles Soule on the 8 Billion Genies limited series, Image Comics. Soule's presented a simple but brilliant premise, and his follow-up has lived up to expectations and exceeded them. It could have been very just tropish. And, there's nothing worse than a great concept that is just kind of met minimally in a minimal way. But as Joe pointed out, this one has expanded and it's going to show us a whole new world being made because of this happening. And, every issue's got twists and turns I didn't see coming, and well thought out results from having humanity as a whole being able to wish things into existence. It's been one of my favorite series this year, and we'll honor it later on in the list too for that. Jeff Johns, on the limited series Junkyard Joe from Image Comics and Mad Ghost line. There's been a lot of universes launched on the backs of a hit limited series this year, or a few hit ongoing series, mostly around the smaller but still mainstream comics companies. Radiant Black, launched this whole Radiant verse, and they're okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but not all of those launched this way have proven that a strongly performing limited series is also a compelling universe cog to build upon. But John scripting, he has forged a very solid foundation. It started with Geiger. Junkyard Joe goes back into how the post-apocalyptic world of Geiger came about, and they have done a beautiful job, the whole creative team, but especially, I think that some of the things that they have accomplished in the first few issues of this are due in part because his story, John's story, is so good and so persuasive, and they're all on the same wavelength for it. It shows combat during the Vietnam War, and then it goes into the modern era, and it handles the elements of both beautiful. This could have just been an analog for DC's G.I. Robot. It wouldn't have had to have been any more than that, or a Weird Wars tale. But it has turned into so much more. One of my favorite reads this year. Best Artist. Okay, so number one comes out as Greg Smallwood, because I love his work on The Human Target. I love this whole style that he has epitomized. He has made a 60s aesthetic very, very cool, even though it's an 80s story. And that's kind of at odds with, I thought that was kind of odd at first, that you're going to do a 1980s look at Justice League, and you're going to do it in a style that looks more 60s-ish. But it works. The way he does it, it definitely works. And I'm going to show you just a few pages that I had to, the kind of page that you turn, as you turn the book, you're reading the story, you stop and you study it, then you go on, then you come back and you look at it again because it's just so beautiful.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Love the colors too.
Yes. Yeah. The coloring, a big part of this is how well it is colored. Absolutely. If you like vintage and modern automobiles,
yeah.
It's not just the people, although the people are definitely a strong point. Action sequences like this with a big crash and ice. And then some of the elements are very stylized. He makes that work well too, I think. Okay. And then some of these covers, they have different people doing the covers, but overall, I love this one. Blue Beetle. Guy Gardner. Fire. So, I don't know of anybody I look forward to seeing their artwork more than Smallwood. And there are times when he seems to be channeling Alex Toth and Doug Wildey. I think Christopher Chance, as he conceives him, would be in the same reality strata as Race Bannon and Dr. Benton Quest. And with Ice, you can see some of the Ice illustrations I showed. He has got a Hitchcock blonde going there with beauty and poise and the way he renders her. The automobiles could share stylistic roadways of Art Fitzpatrick and Van Kaufman. And I think in lesser hands, it would be kind of a jarring to have an 80s story with that kind of a look, but it works for him. And then, each issue kind of centers on one or two members of the Justice League. And that is a varied kind of story. This is all a neo-noir DOA kind of storyline, but a murder mystery. But each of the characters that they bring in, like Blue Beetle, it's funny. And the rendering is funny. When you've got a Guy Gardner story, it's very menacing. And he translates that exactly as it should be, and it all fits together somehow. He takes that ongoing narrative with the different kinds of characterizations in his art, and he stirs it organically into a vodka martini and no shaking, just the stirring. Tom Riley on the Marvel Limited series Ant-Man is my number 2 artist. And I must admit that his style is not normally what I would like, but he did a chameleon bit this year on Ant-Man. They're celebrating the 60th anniversary of Ant-Man. And what he did is he went back and he emulated the style that these different versions of Ant-Man were originally rendered in, and the artists that did them. This is your Silver Age.
Oh, nice.
Hank Pym Ant-Man, yeah. And what's really cool is Al Ewing, as the writer, wrote the stories like the writers back then did. So it's a twofer, but that's the same guy that drew that also drew this almost forgotten villainous Ant-Man from the 90s. Yeah, I believe, or early 2000s. And this. And then when he gets them all together in the 4th issue, they all combine forces from across time and space, and they all look like they did in their individual stories. So he manages to combine them all together and make it hold together and look all right. And I think it's kind of a tricksy art accomplishment, but with Ewing's writing and him together on it, it just charmed me. So again, his style is not exactly what I would normally pick, but it's one of the best Ant-Man. Also, it's a really great way to celebrate a character's 60th anniversary. They only had 4 issues. They could have just made it some little, story with some kind of a mystery that has pieces from.
Hold on, it's Joe. I'm okay. Thanks, Joe. Okay.
It could have just been some kind of a little 4-issue mystery from back in the day or whatever, but no, this worked as a beautiful tribute to a character in his 60th year. And then, it's a minor character, but I have seen other 60th anniversary celebrations and anniversaries of characters that were much less impressive than this and much less true to the original character and the artists and writers. So I applaud it just overall for that. Gary Frank, he did the Image and Mad Ghost line limited series, Junkyard Joe. His style is very clean, and it translates across Vietnam in the early 70s with a squad of men that are on a mission, and introduces the unlikely arrival of a new recruit who happens to be a robot or some form of automaton. This is what I said could be an analog for G.I. Robot, but he also shows us the art style in a Sunday. One of the main characters becomes a cartoonist, syndicated cartoonist for a newspaper, and we get to see how he renders these characters in a comedic kind of way. And he moves up into the modern day, away from Vietnam and all of its ills, into a snowy holiday season landscape flawlessly. This is a very clean, precise style, and I really like the strong imaging and the strong lines that he manages with this. He also manages to impart, here's GI Robot or GI Robot. Here's Junkyard Joe. He cannot show or express emotions with his face. He can't talk, and yet the way he renders him, it shows us exactly how this automaton, who apparently has emotions, how he feels and what he's experiencing. That's a rare gift to be able to basically take an inanimate object and personify it that way, and not make it comedic or when Joe shows up, it's always serious. He's hurting, and I'm very curious as the series goes along to find out if he has like they did with the Vision, anagrams from a human brain in him. Why he feels, how he can be empathetic as a artificial intelligence, or maybe he's like Robot Man and the brain is not artificial. We don't know yet, but it definitely hooked me to want to find out. A lot having to do with the artwork. So the best comic series of 2022, 8 Billion Genies, of course. It made several of our lists. It's number one for me. All the reasons that people have already talked about in concept and execution. It's unleashed creative nirvana. It just is. It's wonderful. Everybody on Earth gets a wish, and the population's around 8 billion, and we see how some people burn their wish fast and waste it, how others change the world with their wish in a bad way, how others have very small personal wishes that come true and make things better. But it is, every issue has been a delight. Can't say that very often. The Blue Flame limited series from Vault Comics. This superhero epic went places that were unsuperheroic because it straddled a very reality-based tragedy of a well-meaning vigilante called Blue Flame living in the aftermath of a mass shooting and a cosmic court battle in which alien judges place him on trial with the future of all mankind hanging in the balance. Not just mankind, but the entire planet of Earth. Now, there have been some that claim Christopher Cantwell, the writer, did not quite stick his landing. But this is the kind of epic story and Delphic curtain fall for it that readers, I think, are going to be debating and discussing for years to come. So it's my number 2 pick for the year. And I don't have a copy. I read it on Hoopla. Check your library to see if they have Hoopla. But I have been reading the Reckless books, which are OGNs through Image Comics by Sean Phillips and Ed Brubaker. And they have a character called Ethan Reckless, and he has kind of an investigative service. He's like an unlicensed private investigator. And it's set in the late 70s, early 80s, all the way up into the later 80s now as it goes along. But when the pandemic hit, they decided, they had pitched the idea for this series to different companies, and the companies all had stopped producing because of the pandemic. So Brubaker and Phillips, they just printed it themselves, and then Image picked it up. So they come out in trade paperbacks, just boom, boom, boom. And the fourth one, A Ghost in You, is one of my favorite reads for the year. And it's not about Ethan Reckless. He's out of town. He's not in California right now, or he's in a different part of California than where the stories normally take place. And it centers on his personal assistant, Anna, who is one of those characters you just love as a supporting character. She's always funny. She is not your girl Friday. She's not going to do things the way you expect. She's creative. She's funny. She has a lot of chutzpah about her. And to see her take center stage was delightful. And then the story, it's 1989, and while he's out of town, she gets a visit from a potential client named Lorna Valentine to see if, as she suspects, her house is haunted. Now, Valentine has bought a home in the Hollywood Hills, a mansion, once owned by Classic Film Stars, which had a murder there, and legend has it that the place is haunted. So it's a very cool, spooky story. Now, Lorna Valentine is one of Anna's childhood heroes because she was the cheesy horror hostess Elvelina she was a minor local celebrity at a local television station. So Anna wants to help her out, and to that end, she doesn't wait for Ethan to come back into town. She goes ghost hunting all by herself. And it's a dangerous, very noirish kind of a story with all that Halloween goodness kind of tucked into it. It is, and at first I was sort of disappointed that he's out of town. Ethan Reckless isn't even going to be in it. I never missed him a beat. That's how good it turned out. So I think that the entire series is good, but that one for this year's releases really, really made me a happy reader. Honorable mention. I'm going to give an honorable mention here to Dark Ride. It's one to watch for in 2023. It's a little early to tell just how good it's going to be, but this is the Infernal Theme Park. And this is a limited series from Image and Skybound. It's the compelling supernatural tale of an infernally inspired theme park by an infernally inspired fan of theme parks, the creative team here. So it's been fun. Okay, so now, my top comic book stinkeroo for 2022. Well, that muck-encrusted no prize goes to Archie Comics, oddly enough.
Go figure.
Second consecutive year. Just like Ant-Man over at Marvel, they had a character celebrating her 60th year. Sabrina the Teenage Witch turned 60 in 2022. I've been a fan of Sabrina since her Groovy Ghoulie days, and the Sabrina Anniversary Spectacular had a $2.99 cover price and a Dan Parent cover mimicking the style of Dan DeCarlo. So I was lured in. How bad could it be? Well, between those covers, there was a 3-strike rule break waiting to happen. Strike one. The issue lumps all the creative contributors from reprint stories and the single new tale together, as if to better hide who's responsible for this latest travesty. Or at least maybe to spread out the blame for lame. I don't know. I hate when they do that because there's always a reason, and it becomes obvious very quickly. Strike two. That single new story introduced an arch nemesis for Sabrina, one witchy foe that they call Amber Nightstone. It's a 5-page story, which is too brief, it's too poorly written, and it's too poorly rendered for a decent attempt to introduce anything, much less a new major villain. Now, there is a 1-page bio for her near the end of the issue, and that's in keeping with this underwhelming tone for the book because they tell the reader a bit about her instead of showing us by, I don't know, maybe adding that page to the story, along with they got a full-page splash to start the story needlessly. They don't need it. It's just padding and poorly done, especially if you're trying to, quote, honor a character, unquote, for a 60th anniversary. I was not expecting one of the more mature audience versions of The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, which can be very good. Some of their adult, more mature titles for Archie have been wonderful, including this year. They've done some really good stuff. But this where they try to take the all ages versions and just slap them into this phoned in, unimpressive, badly written, badly illustrated crap fest, along with a bunch of reprints. I don't care if it's $2.99 or not. It's just awful. So strike three. This book ended up in a pile of all-age books that I intend giving out as Christmas gifts to people I know with kids. But the longer I considered it and judged its merit, I didn't even give it out for that. So it's not even fit to gift. It is my single worst expenditure on a comic book in 2022. And so it doesn't really deserve to be thrown. It doesn't deserve to be ripped. I think it's the only thing you can really do.
Burn it!
If I was going to rate it, I would rate it at, 0.5.
Ooh.
That does not give me hope for Josie.
That is
Yeah.
being generous, But no, the only thing that could, and here it is. I'll show it to you because you need to know. Be warned. You can't say I didn't warn you.
Know the enemy.
Know the enemy. Anytime you've got an all ages book from Archie, look through it first. I'm not saying that they're all bad, but boy, I've had some bad experiences this year, and this was the worst. So it deserves more than the normal treatment, though. So I think rendering it to its basic components is probably its best purpose here. Yeah, and
we have a first. We have a first.
I don't think it's going to be the kind of thing that go in there all at one time. There's Amber Nightstone, by the way. If you want to know more about her, you can read about her rather than see her in an actual good story. But yeah.
Now this is a way to end a year.
Yeah.
Leave the Clyde.
That one ain't getting taped back together.
Well, I don't know.
This.
Jimmy likes doing crossword puzzles, so it's possible. But this is a cross-cut shredder, so I don't think so. I think she's done.
Yeah, it's over with.
Yeah,
that's over with.
Yeah.
But now she can be placed back into the compost heap, and we can recycle her. So
it makes them more pretty flowers.
It makes more pretty flowers. So and to all a good night. So there.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe you can reassemble that into a good comic now.
I'm going to send it off and have it slabbed.
Yeah.
And
for not good.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was funny. And let's see, oddly enough, we got some comments.
Okay.
I know. Yes, it's 28 minus 28 wind chill in Earl Park, which is about almost an hour northwest of me. The temperature here has gone down 6 degrees since we've been on the air. We're now negatives, and no negative, and no bingo yet, and you can't go wrong with them. And yeah, we went silent for a minute, and Carl loved that art style too. I think he was talking about the human target. And Parallax Spectre breaks the interweb is not on my bingo card. Well, now we got something for 2022. And Storm must be getting bad up there. It's I can feel it through the floor in my office. Mm-hmm. And Clyde slams Sabrina down. Wow. Mm-hmm. And Donna is speechless. Your bingo cards, folks, better be filling up. And WoW doesn't blend. And now they can recycle it into a good comic, says Parallax.
That's right.
That's right. And way to go, Clyde. Donna is giving you a standing O there. And return to Archie Comics with a letter saying no. Yeah, seriously. Good call. But yeah, that's the thing. Archie on those one shots, I think they're batting about 60% good.
They're quite some of them very enjoyable, surprisingly good reads this year. But
yeah, like the Bob Phantom that came out recently, or the Mighty Crusaders, and
the Fox.
Remember the Fox? Yes, Fox was excellent, and a couple even of the Archies, even a couple of the new Chilling Tales.
Yeah,
was good. The one before it, that
was the one that flew last year.
Yeah,
so we're going to reintroduce Madam Satan. Remember?
Yeah.
If I'd had a shredder then, I would probably have shredded it too.
I'd have put my iPad through the shredder.
Oh, I gotta burn one next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We'll forgive you this year. It's too cold to go out, even to be starting a fire outside.
Yeah. We'll wait till the spring. Maybe we'll have a cookout over it. No, you shouldn't cook food over that kind of fire. That's probably very unsavory. So, and I think we got some more comments here. And Donna likes that idea. And Ted Davies Artistry, good to see you, brother. Good evening, superheroes. Happy holiday. Be safe out there, kids. Blizzards. Yeah, we got blizzards enough for everybody. So if you want some, come get it. And hey, Ted, you missed it.
You have to catch it in a rerun, Ted.
That's right. And I wish they didn't randomly stop Afterlife with Archie, even though it was never canceled. Yeah, I agree with you, Leia. That was one of their better titles. I liked it a lot. I did not care for the original Chilling Tales of Sabrina. That was dark. Oh, hell, that was dark.
You know what it reminded me of?
Great, though. The new one's terrific.
Yeah, some of the earlier stuff of that run reminded me of back at way back, like in the late 80s, mid 80s. They did early 80s. They did a story when I was in college of National Lampoon did a look at old television shows, and they did a what if Bewitched was really, what if they were really practicing, dark witchcraft.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And those, I mean, that was bad. It was funny, but it was like, oh my God. And the Sabrina titles, every time I see a cover or some of the send out sample pages, I'd go like, they're doing it. This is what was once parody has now become real.
Yeah. At least the Nat Lamp was funny. Oh, and Parallax Spectre, we used to like, Leia. It's a balmy 46 degrees here, Fahrenheit.
For now.
Yeah, for now.
Because what we're getting now, you're about to get in a couple of days.
Yeah, there you go. Well, my in-laws have just survived like 7 feet of snow, so this will be this shouldn't be too hard on them because they're smart. They're going to stay inside like everyone else should do right now too. So,
unfortunately, I don't have that luxury. So right after the show, I have to do some shoveling because people got to get out the house tomorrow morning.
Understood. Well, please be safe, man. Seriously. So we've got a little time left. Does anyone have anything that happened this year? Aha! Oh, that's right. You had a book. That's right. Thank you for reminding us.
Yes. Now, I actually picked up a nice little handy dandy book that was recommended by one of my mentors here.
Okay.
And it surprised me, and I haven't taken it out of its casing as of yet, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. It is the Bernie Wrightson art book.
Oh yeah.
That's going to be some good reading there. Oh yeah. What?
Now, I just thought I was only getting the book for the price that I paid, but they also sent me some art prints and some stickers, so we got like art prints like
cool.
Love it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And the book is out there, and you can buy it right now directly from the publisher's website. It's only $45 here. I actually told Glenn B. Fleming about it when it actually came in to the house and everything. And the stickers are not that bad too, because you have like stickers like this.
Ooh, nifty.
Oh wow.
And this one here.
Yeah. He's one of those artists I really prefer him in black and white to most of his color work. Oh my God, what a master. That's beautiful, Joe.
Yeah, it's like you reminded me of that when you were showing me this with the Spider-Man and Captain America books. I'm like, oh yeah, it was like, yeah, we talked about Draco. It's like, oh yeah, my Bernie Wrightson book. I need to tell people. It's like, you can get that Bernie Wrightson book. Let me go ahead and put that in our chat before you could go ahead and tell people where they can get it. Give me 1 second here.
Okay, yeah, no problem. I'm ready. We'll be glad to give them a shout. Products like that need to be promoted. And while we're waiting there, Ted Davies has just watched it. Shredder.
My teenage mutant.
Oh, thank God, Brian was gone already.
Tribute, yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah. I don't know. Hold on. Don't use that one. Don't use that. Yeah, I don't trust Facebook with anything when it has. Oh yeah, this is a redirect for Facebook. Nope.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, if you can go to the base site, and surely the address will be shorter for another thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it's not like Amazon where, here's a tip, folks, if you're trying to copy addresses, you go through the line and you see that question mark, and then there's more stuff to the right of it. Get your cursor and start to the left of the question mark and copy everything from that point on to the beginning. That's all you need. And it makes it a lot cleaner. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, unfortunately, that you need the full thing because when I did the shortened version of it, it just brings you to the main publisher's website instead of the actual book itself.
I'm going to try something here real fast. Say clever things, you guys.
Clever things.
Thank you. Vaudeville isn't dead, folks. This is just how it smells. I'm going to test something here. Oh, I'm a genius. Here we go. This works, Joe. This actually works.
Okay, how did you shorten it?
No, I got it.
I just say I kind of figured that it's like you shortened it to some. Oh, you did a Bitly ring. You probably did a Bitly.
No, I didn't. No. I did that thing with the question mark.
Ah, okay.
And I just tested it, so it works. So there it is. There's the Facebook link. We also have that on Twitch and on YouTube. That's https://prin_thing35.html. That'll take you directly to the page.
Right, and that would take you to the Bernie Wrightson art book, a tribute hardcover book for $45.
Yes, it will. In fact, I just, like I said, I just tested it. So, all right. Oh, and this is the enamel pin. Hold on a second. Let's see. Let me find
that's what I'm saying. It's like I tried that link, and it's like it worked for you. It's like, yeah, it got to the enamel pin, but that's not what we want. We want the actual book.
Okay, hold on a second here.
And that's the reason why I say you probably have to do the full thing because I don't see the shorter one.
Okay, yeah, you got the slipcover edition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is the regular hardcover. It's $45. The slipcover is $75.
No, that's what I actually paid for was the $45 one, and I got everything together.
So you got a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to do this. This will take you to the page. Go, and if you're of a mind, people, go to this one that I'm about to do. And, here's the hardcover. If you want the slipcase edition, then that's you just back out and go into that. You'll get the choices, but this will get you the hardcover. And so, get it. It looks pretty. Mm-hmm. So anyway, and Carl Witzman got that meme for the moment of Clyde's triumph there. So we'll be expecting that. Thank you. But anyway, yeah, that's handsome. That is really nice looking there. Very cool. Yeah, let's see. What else have they got aside from the? I'm just curious.
Welcome to the Home Comic Shopping Network.
I thought people would be interested in this book. That's the only reason why I brought it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a Bernie Wrightson tribute coloring book as well.
Yeah, for $25.
Oh,
nice. Yeah, so check that out. That's printedinblood.com. That's their
But
store.
not Bernie's blood.
Not Bernie's blood. No, it was Kiss and Kiss. Kiss printed in blood. So yeah, go to printedinblood.com and go into the store, and you'll find everything you want there, and your life will be improved. You'll be glad you did. So anyway, thank you, Joe. That was cool, and thank you, Clyde, for that memorable moment. So anyway, do we have anything we'd like to discuss in the next 15
You mentioned
minutes?
it earlier, Brian, about Aftershock Comics.
Yes, Aftershock is
That's
that's
one
major.
that Eric especially and I have both kind of
invested in,
and I've got him kind of started in some of it, I think.
Yeah.
And I feel bad because they have gone and filed for bankruptcy here a few days before Christmas, which
right. But it's
always
reorganizational bankruptcy is the one thing.
Is that going to be? You think that? And they owe their creators quite a large chunk of change.
Yeah. Yeah, they owe a lot of people, actually.
They have like an itemized list on Twitter that I saw: 15,000 here, 10,000 to an individual here,
Yeah.
10,000 there.
17 grand at Comic Con.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some of the other investors, they owe.
Oh, the
you know, some of
printer
the-
was like 30 grand, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen estimates of everything, everywhere from $10 million minimum. And I've seen some estimates of some other sources that I would claim as reliable as going up. It could hit 50 million by the time all of the debts are assessed.
Now, does that mean that the creators are never going to see from them their money? You don't think, or
I would
that
say,
form of bankruptcy?
well, like I said, this is like reorganizational, which means that what it does is it buys them time to find a way to eliminate their outstanding debts. There is another kind of bankruptcy where basically, like now comics did back in the 90s, where it's basically, oh, we owe you all this money? Screw you, we're starting over again. So hopefully it will not turn into that.
Right.
So, but this is not like, like you said, happening around Christmas. This is not cool. And also there, was it, there was a thing on Bleeding Cool about 2 weeks ago where one artist talked about he's owed quite a sizable amount of money from other companies.
Yeah, because I didn't see his name on that list.
No, it's I can't remember who he was talking about specifically.
Yeah.
There was rumblings that it could be Valiant, which I would not be
Yes, that was
surprised.
it. Yeah.
Valiant is supposed to be the next one.
Yeah, Valiant is only releasing one book a month right now.
Yeah. Who's supposed to be next, Eric?
Valiant.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I would say wait for that after January.
Well, they said that there was one company, one fairly significant company that was getting their paperwork in order to do the same thing. So,
Well, and also Oni Press earlier in the year. I expect them to divest themselves of Lion Forge. And then maybe use the sale of that to, take care of their debts. But no, the person that was hinting about Valiant, he came out and he was telling it like it was, and he along with several other creators, and this is how these things get as bad as they are. A lot of them are afraid to speak out.
right.
Because then they're looked at as troublemakers, and other companies will be like, well, gee, if we hire that person,
He's going to want to get paid.
Yeah, there we
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
If
There
you're
we
not
go.
getting paid, call that crap out. I don't care if it makes you look like a troublemaker or not.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, and I felt the same way. Jerry Ordway about 5 years ago did the same thing. Well, actually, his was not about getting paid so much as not getting work.
Mm.
And you have to admire the guts it takes to basically say, hey, something's going on and it's not right. And unfortunately, as I was telling somebody on Facebook, I think it was Randy Zimmerman, reminds me a lot of the 90s.
Yeah.
We're moving into an area where a lot of companies are undercapitalized. They're running up huge debts because they think that, in this case, somebody's going to give them the quote-unquote Netflix deal, if they're lucky.
That's what a lot of them are banking on, is Netflix
Yeah.
deals.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
streaming
But-
deals in general.
Right.
But that's a.
It's a horrible business plan. I mean, you can't.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I keep shaking my head because it's like there's no way in the world a new IP within its first 5 years gets a Netflix deal and is successful. Again, being an option, it could take years before if it even gets to an actual, worked on project. I mean,
Yeah, you're right.
people look at Walking Dead, and they keep forgetting that it took him a decade before AMC looked this way. A
Yeah.
decade.
Well, and look at even the more mainstream films. Batman didn't get a film overnight.
Mhm.
Superman didn't get a film overnight. She-Hulk has been around how long now? The Avengers, Spider-Man. It's taken this long to build up.
Batman had a
Yep.
film like back in the 30s, didn't it?
Of
They had
40s, he had
the
series. Yeah, but the less said about those, the better. But no. But that, you make a good point there, Joe. That it takes time for a an IP to develop a fan base,
But
and especially,
but even to Eric's point,
yeah.
but Batman predates to the 1920s. So if he gets a serial in the 30s, that's still a decade. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's true. He was around. Yeah, it was around. Yeah, Captain America had been around for only a couple of years, but that was a terrible serial. I've seen it. But yeah, in most cases, it takes a long time to develop that foundation, and at a time when and I do mean all of the streaming services are cutting back.
Yeah.
We're probably going to see a couple of them get absorbed. And Donna, we'll get to your question at the end of the show. But Joe, it's been optioned. OMG, BBQ, FBI, JFK, insert other 3 letters. Dude, bro, terms. And Joe Bachman, good to see you. We love you, Leia. And dropping by real quick to wish you all Merry Christmas. Hope you have a great holiday weekend. You
Same
too,
to you, Joe.
Oh man, stay safe and much love to you and your honey. And everyone's saying hello to Joe, as well they should. And we will answer this question at the end of the show, so you guys stay tuned. Anyway, but yeah, it's right now we're in a section, this stuff went on back in the 80s. Everyone was looking for a movie deal, and you know where all those companies are today.
Yep.
I can mention most of them, and most of the audience won't know who I'm talking about.
Who? What?
Yeah, what? Kamiko? What? But yeah, it's
Kamiko got greedy.
Kamiko got greedy. First got greedy. There's just a whole bunch of them that went under. But one of the few. What I think probably right now the longest lasting quote unquote independent publisher is probably Dark Horse, and they had their own studio. So that's how they got like Barbed Wire on the air and The Mask. And then Image has been, I'd say, probably second, I would say. So, but anyway. But
Aftershock put out some really good stuff this year, and I've covered a lot of their issues and things. And they didn't make my top list because they haven't been quite that over the top great. But I expected them to become that way. Yeah. A few years with Greg gathering up talent and doing well. But I always feel bad. It was like I've recommended this comic book, and now, like Eric was saying, I don't know if I'll ever see the last issue of that one. I don't know if I'll ever see the last issue of that one. And I hate doing that, but I had no idea that they were that far into the red. And I guess
I forgot they put out a Bunny Mask too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, that's it. We're not privy to the internal workings of these companies, nor should we be, frankly. But yeah, we've got undercapitalized publishers. We've got bad business plans abounding. We've got
rough economy and coming off of a pandemic that was unprecedented.
Yeah, and the variant issue thing. Developing the collector investor mentality, actually.
That comes back to something that I was thinking about myself here, which was the aggressiveness of marketing.
Yeah.
Because when he mentioned Bunny Mask, I was like, you know what? There was a time where I even would even online sellers, it's like they would always talk about how great a series was, and I was like, well, if it's so great, why do you still have copies? Why are you saying jump on this, using the fear of missing out as a tactic?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's good, then word of mouth will eventually get to people. And I'm seeing this a lot more often now since you made mention about Bunny Mask, because it's like I bought Bunny Mask #1. I still haven't read it as of yet, but I have a sneaky suspicion if I did read it, I'd probably go like, meh.
Yeah.
And I'm up there. It's like, well, what was the hype about that? It's like, to me, it's like some of the books that were most hyped, I went meh to. Like something's killing the children. I actually finally got issue #1. I'm glad I read issue 16 first, because if I would have read that issue #1, I would have been like meh and thrown it, because it didn't tickle none of my fancy. It didn't give me any meat to really be like interested in this series. At least 16 at least the issue 16 that I read gave me enough story where I could be like, this is interesting, but it got problems.
Yeah. Well, and that's, to me, that kind of signals that maybe more companies should do done-in-one stuff.
Yeah.
Because that way,
what
if you
you're
go
talking about-
under, you don't peeve off your clientele.
Joe, what you were talking about with something that's killing the children, I like the first series of that for just a standard, just a limited series. I was like, okay, this is good. This has got some promise. And then immediately they begin to try to grow it into other things. I read a few of those, and that's one of those like I talked about. It, a limited kind of a series it's not always what you're gonna. Maybe it can be continued on, but it doesn't always make a kernel for a new universe that they're trying to grow it into.
Right.
But I think that the market is forcing people, or companies to go. We have something that's a minor hit. We gotta run with it. Some minor hits are okay for that. Others are not, especially when you have younger creators that are not, creators that maybe aren't as established or don't have as much experience as some of the older ones.
Or discipline, yeah.
Or discipline, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because you see, like we've made mention more than once, books like Luke Stone's Hybrids are a rarity, or or Joe's books or Eric's books. They're a rarity because they've got titles that have reached number 2 and beyond.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas that doesn't happen a lot in a lot of independent books. Which is a damn shame, I think, especially if the book is good, like these guys. It's just really disappointing. So get your act together out there, people, right now.
And BKM, you said, I think earlier this week in our private talks, that something that could happen, like with the more adult version of Alice in Wonderland,
right?
That you liked from Aftershock, Eric. Somebody may take the unpublished, if they don't bring them out, somebody may buy the rights to put them out as a TPB in a different company. If they reorganize, maybe they will eventually, but
who's going to work for them if they reorganize?
True.
After that list of people they haven't paid.
Very true. So,
well, the chances are, I would wager that anyone working from this point on is going to have I would assume they all had contracts or some evidence that they were to get paid, but I would imagine some of them might insist on an upfront payment of some sort. And a lot of these books from a lot of these publishers, including Image, are basically put together at the creator's expense. And then you ship it off to, and this is, the same business model as like Scout and a whole bunch of others, that you assemble the book and then they'll print it and then they pay you off of any potential or any realized profits from it. So at least that's the goal. So Joe, you were chuckling a moment ago.
No, I was reading the comments here. And some of the comments was like, oh wow.
Okay, we'll hit those then. Hold on a second here. And Eric Shredder. And Donna sets me straight. I don't got a nothing. Okay, I'm sorry, Donna. I apologize. And Kamiko, not that Kamiko. Not the one from your Secret Humor group. No, this was a company, Comico.
Yeah.
They started out with Robotech franchise.
Right, started with the Macro Saga, and they milked the heck out of it, and it was a very profitable thing because they were they actually got the rights as, I want to say, what was the name of that company? Harmony Gold brought it over to the United States in its animated form.
Yes. Yeah, it's just at the right time for these guys. The timing on this was really impressive. But they also launched the careers of people like Adam Hughes, Michael Urie, Mike W. Barr wrote for them. Bill Willingham did some of his earliest work for them on the Elementals, one of my favorite comics ever. And actually some later ones, some of my least favorite. But anyway, the sex issues. But yeah, they launched a whole bunch of careers there, and but they tried to get newsstand distribution, and they'd lost a lot of their more recognizable titles by then, and that's what did First Comics in. They tried newsstand, which is why I tell people there is a publisher out there, or a printer, I should say, Ingram Spark, that will allow you to get your books into stores, but they also allow returns, and that's what kills you. So be cautious about that, people. That's your the more you know moment. So, but yeah, Kamiko was had some really good titles, but they
got greedy.
They got greedy.
They just got greedy.
Yeah, and I could see it if you went into it cautiously, but they didn't, unfortunately. And Parallax, I like
ColecoVision.
Yes, there we go.
That's why I was laughing.
Okay, that brings back memories.
Yeah,
I had that controller that it's like a shield, and you had 4 buttons here with a joystick.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And the number pad
And
just
the number
below.
pad. You get games that had little slides that would go over the number pads for different things.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was cool stuff. And Parallax says, I'm going to be 78 years old when the Spawn movie drops. I'll stick with the HBO animated series from the 90s. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
And Seller, mark my words, you won't see this book for sale again. This series is hot. That's right. And me, why then do you have a long box of them? That's a good point. That's a good point. I remember when the resurrection of Superman happened in Adventures of Superman number 501, and all the dealers bought it like it was going to sell like Superman 75. Ha 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 ha. And I had all kinds of dealers that sunk all this money into it were going out of business. They were calling me, hey, I've got Adventures of Superman 501. How many boxes do you want?
Oh,
I'm good, thanks. I got plenty. And I must go torment Joe Dog McKeel now. Happy holidays, folks. Carl, happy holidays to you and Donna. All right, and stay warm as long as you can, Parallax. And merriment to you as well, Carl from Parallax. I'll be okay. I'm padded, Carl. I got plenty of padding, but I ain't going out till Monday morning when the temperature may get in the positives again.
Wednesday it's supposed to be 47 here, so I don't know what's going on.
wow.
Yeah, we're supposed to get in the mid to upper 30s here.
Yeah.
So
I'm not
I
going out
watched-
till I can see my shadow again. I tell you.
I watched a video
Clyde's fault.
this week. It was titled "Making and Keeping Money in Comics" with Sean Gordon Murphy.
Oh,
Now, this is a 2-hour interview with Sean, talking about, and a lot of it is his perspective with these other creators, and how they're hoping to get options, and they're hoping for this. They and when they make a little bit of money, they just blow it on something right away, and he's you can't count on that. I mean, he's done very well for himself, but it's a very interesting interview.
well, check
Now,
that out.
unfortunately, it's on Perch, but they talk to each other about it. It's I mean, it's a 2-hour interview. It was pretty good. I mean, especially some of these people. He said, he doesn't even want to deal with the options of people trying to option his stories and stuff, because it ends up, it takes like minimum of 3 years, and you might end up with 10 grand out of it, if that.
Yeah.
By over 3 years.
And that's the thing, and you can't work on it.
No.
You lose.
He says
You lose the right to work on it, so you leaving money on the table. So it's like let's say you do, the first 2 issues of that comic.
Yeah.
It gets optioned. You can't do it issue 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's held up because they're pitching it everywhere else. Unless your contract specifically states that you can continue on, you're done.
Yeah.
It's an interesting interview. I recommend you at least listen to at least first half of it.
Yeah.
Even though I don't like the source, like I said, you mentioned the source. It's like I don't care too much for the source.
It was interesting them both talking about it because he gets ragged on by other creators because he got attacked on I think it was Instagram because he bought a new house to turn into a bed and breakfast, or not Airbnb.
Okay.
So he is being attacked for being a capitalist, for wanting to make money.
That's stupid.
Oh, and he tells a funny Greg Capullo story.
Okay.
But Greg had bought a new car. It's a Jaguar.
Okay.
Wow.
And he was complaining about the panel lines. There was too much of a gap, and they weren't fixing it as quickly as they're supposed to. He says, "Don't they know who I am?" He says, "I'm gonna go in there and blast them. So I'm Batman, Spawn artist." And he said, "Sean said, please don't do that. Don't do it." He goes,
Yeah.
I would really do that, but don't they know who I am?
That's why I tell everyone that the day I say don't they know who I am and say it in a tone as if I mean it. That's when you gotta wrestle me down to the ground, take my car keys, and don't let me near sharp objects again.
That's when we say, "Okay, Bob Kane."
That's right. That's right.
I think it might have been Tom King. He mentioned too. People kind of got onto him for taking a vacation. Because he spent money to go to Europe on a vacation.
You know, and it's like it's their money. You know, like what gives anyone the right to tell anybody else how to spend it?
I don't know. It's interesting. I've listened to the first half a couple times.
I will have to check that out. Thank you. And Barrel Spectre says that's the day we take your Fez B Cam. See, now there we go. See, she's gonna take care of me. And hey, how you doing, Facebook user? Hope you're having a good night. Glad to see you. But yeah, you know, that's the thing though. You know, it's like Murphy's had a good run with his line of Bat books. Tom King has gotten some damn good sales on his limited series and such. And it's like, it's their damn money, shut up, and you don't tell the guy how to spend it, you know. If you want to dissuade me from the hookers and blow, well then no, it's my business, you know.
Hookers and blow.
Hookers and blow. That's
Hookers and blow.
You know, gotta be careful how you say those words, because if you say it in the wrong order, it incriminates you.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
That's when you get the wrong kind of hooker.
I could go all Hugh Grant on you guys. Yeah, that'd be the day. But oh my God! Well, I'm firmly in the seat of capitalism. Of course, all of us, we pretty much run our own businesses. So it's like, yeah, we're, if Mr.
I want to make some money.
Well, yeah, there's that part. I'm working on that. So.
I don't want to just give my stuff away. Here, I'm at a Comic-Con. Just come get all the books you want. Take them.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'd won that $2 billion a couple weeks ago, yeah, I might consider it for an hour, and then Cookie take my temperature and go nowhere near my mouth.
To me, nobody sees the long game, and that's what the real problem is. Everybody's like, "Hey, I got this book. We sold X amount of volume of it." It's like, but the IP itself lasts longer. People have to come to you to draw that character. People have to come to you to write that next story in the next sequence. People still have to come to you and pay you for the right to do this. Long game.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the advantage of working for yourself as opposed to working with some of the corporate companies where you're drawing some of their characters and everything. Yeah, you make a nice little pretty penny, but when it's yours, sky's the limit.
That's true. That's true. Well, it's, of course, then again, unless you sell to Aftershock or Oni Press. But anyway, and hookers and blow dealers need to make a living too. Exactly. It's part of the trickle-down theory. Reagan was right, And Teresa Dunn's here. Mwah, good evening, all. Baby, it's cold outside. I just bet it is. I won't know till Monday, hopefully. And what do you mean you don't want to give your stuff away? How else am I supposed to get stuff from you?
I swear, I'm almost out of my beanies because I've given so many of them away.
Oh my God! Well, that's
last time I got in there, I was like, "Whoa, I gotta keep some of these." Hold on.
Yeah, Lissy, it's sad that you may not have one of these things. So only the cool kids have them, I guess.
Next issue, we're going with the red one. I think.
Not the cool one. Ooh, red.
I'm not cool. I'm not cool yet.
You need to get one of these. It's warm. It's nice. And I offer my services for a nominal need to remove stuff from BKM for your own use. No, I keep telling people I want to be a 1%er. Because I'll be an oppressor you'll be proud of. So you'll root for me. So, and Lizzie says I have 2 of those. So good for you, Lizzie. Oh, so does anybody have anything else to talk about, or do we want to wrap
James
this
Gunn
up?
is a jerk.
Oh, or have the other one. Well, it depends on if you ask. If you ask Patty Jenkins and and Henry Cavill, you might get that. Of course, then again, Cavill landed butter side up, I'd say.
Oh, he's got.
He's a class act.
Yeah.
His
He's
response is
awesome.
beautiful.
And he's a nerd too.
Yes,
I
yes.
know. That's
Can't keep a good nerd down.
That's right.
It's all right.
I tell you what was because I saw Black Adam this week and I went back and looked at some of the Ryan Airy and Screen Crush and stuff like that, talking about new rock stars, talking about what it meant for the future of the DCEU.
Nothing.
That was fun.
I read some of those. Yeah.
Yeah. A month can make a big difference in your whole.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to see if they had any retraction videos or realignment. I think Ryan Airy may have had one that it's like, well, what does it all mean, kind of a thing. But yeah, it's.
There's no telling what will happen. It's a shame.
And then everybody has assumed that Gunn will get rid of everything in continuity except the stuff he's working on.
Mm-hmm.
The Peacemaker and
with his wife in it.
With his wife in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and then again, he's not said anything about canceling Joker 2. He's not said anything about a couple other projects that are out, and the second Batman movie.
Mm-hmm.
He's not saying anything about it. I think he's
Isn't
going to
Joker
let them...
2 the musical with Lady Gaga?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But, I think a number of... And The Flash is still coming out, although rumor has it that Gal Gadot and Henry Cavill filmed scenes for it, and they may get cut out.
Yeah.
I'd say put them in anyway. It won't matter. Besides, they'll have a final scene where Grant Gustin takes over anyway, and he's now the Flash. So anyway, that's my take on it. So, but
my take is still, it's like, don't be surprised if Marvel Studios all of a sudden decides to come out with Squadron Supreme.
Yeah. Oh, they take those guys up in a heartbeat.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope they all land. Apparently, The Rock is he came out, or someone found an old interview where he wants to play Luke Cage.
Yeah. Sweet Christmas. I'd go see that movie. But no, what is it? And and somebody raised a point about, well, how could you fire Gal Gadot? And Gunn's reaction on Twitter was something to the extent of, who said I fired her? Mm-hmm. That's led to some speculation. Plus, some people have said, that Gunn has said he wants to do a version of Kingdom Come. And wouldn't Cavill be good in that?
Uh-huh.
So it's like, I say, fanboys, unwad your panties and just wait like the rest of us. So,
but that's still a contradiction.
Yeah,
it's still a contradiction there, dealing with what he plans to do with just this idea of Justice League in the beginnings.
Yeah.
It's like you can't recast those characters and then expect the ones that put them on the map to come back.
That's true. And I think it's a shame because especially with Godot and Cavill, they gave some iconic performances. Even though I think Cavill was not totally well served by his script. But Danny O'Neill kept saying that Superman's so powerful he can survive bad writing. So and another one, Jason Momoa. Thank you, Leia. Says they're saying now that Momoa is being looked at for Lobo, and Kingdom Come only works with Christopher Reeve and Michael Keaton. Well, we're gonna have a problem with half of that. And Ted Davies says, "Great show, gentlemen. Happy hookers and holidays to you all." Thank you, Ted, brother. Take care, brother. You and your missus have a fantastic holiday season. Merry Christmas to y'all.
I'm not thinking Kingdom Come anymore. It's like the only thing that could save that type of idea is just go ahead and do full-fledged Crisis.
That's true, but first you have to establish a universe that.
Okay, we've got our universe made here.
Technically, they established.
Hasn't every movie they've had been in Crisis?
Good one.
Eric got on that one. That's the thing. Well, that way you could take the Flash movie and have those guys cut in and out, and then you can take the rest of Batgirl and find a way to put that in there too. So that brought the house down. Anyway, too soon. So
don't forget. Oh well, Donna's not here. You still have to answer her question.
oh, which was that again? Oh yes, about our
Next
hiatus.
Yeah.
Yes, we are taking the next 2 weeks off to recharge our batteries and maybe retool this a little, because we've gotten some good comments when we've had some discussions here. So we'll talk about it. But anyway, we will be back, take the next 2 weeks off, and then we'll be back in mid-January. And because I think we've all got projects between now and then. So we will keep amused, so you don't have to worry about us, folks.
I got nothing.
Oh boy.
Well,
The last comment.
yeah, well.
No, the last.
Oh, the very last comment. Okay, I wasn't down there, and I'll watch. I'll watch Crisis if Halle Berry Catwoman is killed in the middle of like Supergirl. Give the people what they want. That's what I say. You know, and I look at I did see Catwoman with Halle Berry, and it has two good things in there, Halle Berry. But anyway, it's like I treat it like The Spirit. If you divorce it from the source material, it's good dumb fun.
No.
Yes.
No, it's not.
I emphasis on dumb, Clyde.
No.
No, if you divorce it from its source material, what you're left with is a very bad Samuel L. Jackson movie.
That's true. That's true. Well, the thing is,
Black Snake Moan? Was that one?
Yeah, the next Halle Berry Catwoman will be there's snakes on this plane, so you know that the best of all worlds there. But no, it's if you watch Catwoman with the sound off, it's great.
Great for
Yeah, that's
what?
how I want
Great
to
for-
watch my
Just
next
okay.
superhero movie is, hey, as long as the sound's off, it's okay.
Yeah, there we go. See, I can save any movie if you get an attractive enough actor or actress and just turn the damn sound off. You know. Oh, and let's see. Here we go. And even divorced, it's not good. I'd give it alone like a 4 out of 100. And Parallax Spectre says BCAM watches Catwoman one-handed. Confirmed. And what's your point?
But that's, to me, I mean, if I want to see Halle Berry in a sexy role, there are other
Swordfish.
movies.
Yeah, Swordfish. Yeah.
There are other movies where you could have that and not
Or Monsters
ruin.
Ball.
Yeah,
And Monster Ball. Yeah, that's true.
but you could do that, and you wouldn't have to ruin one of the DC characters. You know.
No, it's not ruined. She did not ruin Catwoman.
No, that's
Pfeiffer-
not even Catwoman. It's just
Yeah,
Name
it's,
It was a
Catwoman.
story.
Name only.
It was a story that uses the trademark.
yeah.
That's it.
That was like the what was it, the tangent version of Catwoman, you know, or was it
Stan Lee creates Catwoman.
Yeah, there we go, Stanley. Yeah, and
Hey,
Stanley
you
is
know
bringing
what?
those back for a year. That's great.
Clyde might be onto something. Maybe they called it Catwoman, but it really was supposed to have been the Cat because it was closer to Greer Grant than Selena Kyle.
There you
That's
go.
true. There we go.
There you go.
We've saved this movie, and you saw it here. along with the-
No, we've condemned it further, but that's okay.
Oh yeah, I want to see Clyde next week. We'll bring the CD and he'll run it through the paper shredder there. And Monster Ball, they totally did it for real. Yeah, you betcha. And the script ruined Catwoman. I agree with you there. That was not a great script.
No.
But I give Halle Berry points, you know, because she got the Razzie that year. She went and accepted the award in person.
I've
I
seen
love
her
that.
acceptance speech. It's very nice. You
Yeah,
know,
it's got to
really
keep her
is.
away from superhero movies. I mean,
But-
'cause she wasn't the best Storm either with some of those
Here's
lines.
the problem. Here's a problem. I have to mention this because the third person mentioned Monstrous Ball.
Yes.
Isn't that the first time an actress won an Academy Award for doing something that was close enough to porn?
Yep.
I'm just saying. We have never seen a porn movie win an Academy Award, but Monstrous Ball is the closest thing to it.
Well, they could have a follow up later. 2 cat women, 1 cup. See if that gets a nomination.
The
Nomination ain't
mixing.
gonna work. I'm talking about win the award, win a like best actress award.
Yeah, but they can still milk that nominating thing. Until we get no, I'm stopping. Anyway, and she was okay as Storm says Leia after she stopped the terrible accent enhancement. Yeah, that's true. I agree with you there. There are some actors who should not try dialects. It's Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins should have taught us all. So, and she won the Oscar on Sunday and the Razzie on Saturday. There, see you go. But she was classy. She was classy during that whole thing. So just like Henry Cavill was. So So anyway, Eric, who you guys are you guys doing the show tonight?
Yeah.
So what are you drawing?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we're doing just a holidays, Christmas themed.
So what you doing?
I'm drawing a steampunk Santa and a sleigh rocket.
Ooh.
Nice.
We'll see. I mean, it's going to be pretty ambitious to get that done in 2 hours.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of, I've taken my initial sketch I did and kind of simplified it a bit. We'll see if I can get it done.
Well, then.
I won last week and totally forgot. And they had a pro show last night. I didn't even go to it.
Well, they would have canceled it if you did.
But
Yeah.
they were drawing Squid Boys, which is apparently Mike's new NFT scheme. So, but I didn't go anyway. He was just looking for art to sell.
Yeah, because that's going so well right now.
Are you getting a cut?
Probably would have. Yeah. He's helped actually a lot of artists out, and they've made some money off him.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Okay, I would say if you're not getting a cut, I don't blame you.
Thing.
Well, he better invest his money fast in something else. And Parallax Spectre would watch a Squadron Supreme with the Justice League cast, and I'm not even a big fan of the property. I would too, and that would be quite the jab at Marvel, actually. That would be kind of funny. Well, actually, it would be kind of funny if they made it more like, made the tone more like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Actually, I would not mind if they would have did a version of this recent Heroes Reborn. That to me was a great series dealing with the Squadron Supreme, at least to make the Trinity of the Squadron Supreme.
Yeah, that's not bad. That'd be a good idea there. I like that. So anyway, we gotta be getting close to when Eric has to leave. So why don't we go around the room, and we'll start with Eric, then Joe, then Clyde, then me. How's that? Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. So Eric, tell everybody how they can keep a hold of you. And
Hey, just follow my links. Other than that, social media, it's all there. I'm here every Thursday except for the next 2 weeks, and just come in, tune, watch us. Go watch the reruns. Join the Facebook page. Leave some comments. Go back to some old videos. Leave some comments there. They can be dumb comments. Just leave some comments. It helps out the algorithm and helps out the channel. And if you're watching and you haven't liked it, like the video and subscribe. Yeah,
there we go.
That's it. Everybody have a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you all next year.
All right. Thank you, Eric.
You're welcome.
Joe?
Yeah, I'm coming to you from my phone, so that's the reason why the link is not up on my screen as of right now. But you can catch up with me on Linktree at linktr.ee/SILV as in Victor, B as in Baker, OLT. That would be the best way for you to get in contact with me via oh, sorry about that. That was, again, camera stand and everything, trying to keep it from falling over while I'm actually talking. So, what we going? Where I was at? Oh yeah, that's where all the social media links are at for the company store, where you could watch from the Desperate Ball Portfolio up there on the YouTube channel and everything. Speaking of that channel, we will be having a show this Saturday, and this Saturday is Christmas Eve. We will have a Christmas Eve show. I'm still debating if we're going to have a New Year's Eve show, and if I do have a New Year's Eve show, would you guys want me to run all the way up into the new year? meaning that it will become a countdown show, considering the fact that usually the end of my show would normally end right about the time that the East Coast have New Year's. So if I do run it, it will be, partly East Coast and partly Central Time. So I leave that up to you. Make sure, like Eric said, make sure that you like, subscribe, even comment, because we do respond to comments. And don't forget about our Facebook page out there, our Facebook group, Comic Book Spectrum. Leave comments. The comic book phone will come back, since we're not doing one in the next 2 weeks. It will come back, I believe it will be the week of the 11th. It's the next episode, so January 11th. So I will probably put a post up there for you to vote on the next book. So you have between that time and I would say probably about January 8th. And that will give you more enough time to select the next book from Comic Book Phone as far as what I'm going to review here. And harass Rodman to find a good book that I might like that in his repertoire of what he normally reads.
That isn't Hellboy.
Yeah. Again, he already knows.
Long.
It's like, here, read Hellboy. Man, enthroned. He already knows. It's like, but the thing about it is that one of the cool things I love about Comic Book Spectrum is that we try to branch out. We try to branch out to other things that we normally won't read. And me being one of the more flexible ones, it's just like, I just don't force what I normally read on everybody else. But I'm curious. It's like, like how Eric found Daisy. I would have never thought I would like Daisy. Read it, picked it up, read it, reviewed the rest of the series. You never know. So, it's kind of like my attitude is find something that you really, really like, share it with somebody and share it why you like it. And maybe that wildfire would catch on. Just like with Zombie for World of Oz. If more people talk about how they love that, like with Amazonia, people talk about that. Primetime Saturday Night. Memoirs of an Angel. Or my favorite, which now I'm not even going to harass him about because he is working on it, the Nebulizer #2. He is working on that, so I can't harass him about issue 3 as of yet because he's still getting over his ailments and everything. But if more people talked about why they liked it, how they liked it, and getting more people on board, things will be a lot further. So, again, to make a certain person happy, with that being said, I'm going to wish you a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa, a joyful Hanukkah. If I missed your holiday, I missed your holiday, but no offense. Have a joyous one of whatever you celebrate. We'll see you next year. Well, actually, I'll see you Saturday. And then I'll probably see you the Saturday after that, just before we go into the new year, depending on what you guys vote for. So, see ya.
All right. Thank you, Joe. And here is Mr. Clyde Hall.
Hey, I'm Clyde Hall, and they call me the elder statesman of geekery. Bingo! Find me on Facebook under my name or at Radiating Positive Vibes with author Clyde Hall. And you can follow me on Twitter at CJHall1984. And that's also where you can see the other comic review online sites that I write for. Those include doomrocket.com and The Beat or thecomicsbeat.com. You can go to my Amazon authors page. You can do that by going right there. And that'll show you all the things I've done with Stormgate Press, including my 4th story in the 4th edition of Pulp Reality #4.
Yay!
Yay! So that's how you can keep up with me overall. And most Thursdays, except for the next 2, I'll be residing here, looking natural and almost lifelike, and in the good company of Comic Book Spectrum cohorts. But in the meantime, season's greetings, Merry Christmas, and pleasant celebrations to all. We're sending you all wishes for a safe and joyous holiday toasting your good health and good fortune in the coming new year.
All right. Thank you so much, Clyde. All right. And I'm Brian K. Morris, writer, editor, freelancing, all of it. And, pardon me, with a bad cold now, or cough at least. Also, Facebook famous YouTuber and former mortician's assistant. This is the site for me. Check out all that we do there. It has a connection to our monthly insider information emails. The next one will go out January 1st. That'll be a way to bring in the new year. And also, go to Amazon. I've got all my works there at www.amazon.com/author/Brian K. Morris. You can pick up all my stuff there. Also, you can find me on Walmart.com, Books-A-Million.com, Smashwords, as well as the Rising Tide page on Facebook, and I'm a frequent contributor to the Comic Book Spectrum page on Facebook. Please give them a like if you would, and if you've enjoyed any part of this show, even for a second, please give us a thumbs up on this video, and also please share this with your friends. Subscribe if you would, if you haven't already, because we promise more cool stuff in the months to come. And we want to say hello to Grant Lankard, who joins us at the tail end here. Check out Grant's work like Beowulf and Memoirs of the Morbid. Grant, we're glad to have you here. Season's greetings to you and to Angie. And season's greetings to you. Also, we want to give a big shout out to the people that keep the show going, such as our Patreon subscribers. Patreon is a monthly subscription service where you can subscribe financially to your favorite creators. And next couple weeks, we're going to be posting the next chapter in the Volcana sequel, and doing our usual twice weekly blog. Every blog deserves a name. And if you subscribe to right now, you can read my latest blog, in which I tell all the stuff that I got done writing-wise in 2022. And next week we will also post what we're planning to do in 2023. And yes, our plate is full, but we couldn't be happier. But check us out at www.patreon.com/Brian K. Morris. And this show has also been brought to you by Rising Tide Publications. Check out The Terrors. That's going to come out this spring with a brand new cover by our other sponsor, and that's Jeffrey Hayes and Plasma Fire Graphics. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
You've worked hard and written a great book. Now it's time to give it a great cover. If you're an indie author or small press publisher, Plasma Fire Graphics is your source for affordable cover illustration and graphic design. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you.
Check out their Facebook page, and then check out plasmafiregraphics.com for more. How do you like it? How do you like it? Great illustrations. And ask Jeffrey Hayes there about his indie creator-friendly pricing. You will be so glad you did. That's plasmafiregraphics.com. Plasma Fire Graphics, when the look of your book matters to you, because it definitely matters to your readers, and something that matters to everyone who's a geek that wants to use their geek power to help out others. Check this out.
The Multiverse Fundraiser is a virtual fandom jamboree and a charity fundraiser all rolled into one package. We're not just raising funds for a good cause, we're raising fun. Our 2023 event will be supporting the John Ritter Foundation for Aortic Health, which exists to spread awareness of aortic health and prevent unnecessary suffering through genetic research, widespread education, and radical advocacy. Our fundraiser combines celebrity panels, fandom-based panels, indie creators, and all of the fun of a virtual con for free. There's a little something for everyone while we support a cause close to our heart. Join us on January 20th through 22nd, along with celebrity guests Amy Yazbek, Jason Bear, Chris Gaucher, Victor Garber, William Catt, Cress Williams, Beth Broderick, Armin Shimmerman, Guy Gilchrist, Carrie Schaefer, Brian Hull, Amy Carrero, Jennifer Cody, and Joyce DeWitt.
That's the Multiverse Fundraiser. Check that out. And again, folks, if you like this show, any part of it, please like, share, and subscribe. It would mean a lot to us. Help us conquer the evil algorithms. And in closing, we want to thank you all for being here. Thank you for supporting this show all year round. We hope that you have a safe weekend with this terrible weather blowing through the North American continent as it is. But afterwards, we hope you have a joyous and safe and blessed Christmas or whatever you celebrate, all right? And also, we hope you have a very joyous new year and look forward to a brand new year where we get to start this thing all over again and maybe get it right this time. Who knows? Anyway, folks, thank you again for being here and thank you for supporting this channel. It means a great deal to all of us. We have a great deal of fun putting it together for you, and we're glad that you're here to share in the joy. So anyway, as always, this is Brian K. Morris saying, stay smart, stay safe, wash your hands, and never apologize for being awesome. Have a great rest of your December, and we'll see you in mid-January. Take care, everyone. See you then. Merry Christmas.